Thank you, Adrian, and a very good evening to you wherever and however you're listening to TalkSport. As we reach another quarter-final match, two hugely influential teams with mightily impressive records going into this tie. The Netherlands are unbeaten in 19 under Louis van Gaal since he returned for a third spell as national manager post-Euro 2020. Whilst that shock defeat for Lionel Scaloni's Argentina against Saudi Arabia in this very stadium just over a fortnight ago was their only loss in 40 matches stretching back to July 2019. Both can argue here that the form book is with them. The Dutch make one switch from the 3-1 win versus the USA as David Klaassen makes way for Steven Bergwijn to come back into the attack. Frenkie de Jong reaches 50 caps this evening, and Daley Blind, who scored his first competitive international goal since 2014 last time out against the States, moves on to 99. It's Andries Noppert in goal. A back three for the Dutch of Jurriën Timber, Virgil van Dijk and Nathan Ake. Denzel Dumfries, Martin de Roon, Frenkie de Jong and Daley Blind, four in midfield. Cody Gakpo will play in behind Steven Bergwijn and Memphis Depay, although Depay and Gakpo just might switch their roles. We'll wait and see. Angel Di Maria missed a narrow 2-1 win over Australia for Argentina in the round of 16 with a minor muscle injury. He's not being risked here by Lionel Scaloni, but there is one change of personnel and a change of system as Manchester United centre-half Lisandro Martinez comes in to make a third centre-back in what will be a 3-5-2 system. Alejandro Gomez misses out from the win against the Socceroos. Emi Martinez in goal, Christian Romero, Nicolas Otamendi and Lisandro Martinez in a back three. Nahuel Molina and Marcos Acuna will be the wing-backs for Argentina right and left. Rodrigo de Paul, Enzo Fernandez and Alexis McAllister in midfield. Lionel Messi is in a front two this evening, partnered by Manchester City's Julian Alvarez. A man of vast refereeing experience in charge tonight, Spain's Antonio Mateo, who TalkSport listeners may well remember took charge of the Manchester City-Chelsea Champions League final last year. And the Dutch in all orange get us underway. We're high up in the second tier of the Lusail Stadium, right on halfway. And the Dutch in all orange are kicking from left to right as we look. Argentina with their light blue and white shirts, but white shorts and socks as well. They'll be attacking the end to our left, which is where there is probably the largest small pocket of Dutch supporters at the left-hand end. And I would probably say that Argentina are outnumbering the Dutch supporters even more than they did against the Australians in the round of 16. Ball played up to Enzo Fernandez, who's really emerged as an important player at the base of Argentina's midfield in this World Cup. The ball over halfway is comfortably won back by Nathan Ake, and then Virgil van Dijk just plays a quick 1-2 with Martin de Roon. Jurriën Timber preferred to Matthijs de Ligt in this back three by Louis van Gaal. Gives the ball to Van Dijk. The whistles start to go up around the stadium as this hugely partisan Argentine crowd want to see their team on the front foot. Noppert clears the goalkeeper up to halfway. Gakpo gets a touch, but it's won back by Argentina. Stuart Pearce with us tonight on TalkSport.
Evening, Dance. As I say, the pyrotechnic show early on, last time I saw something like that was at a Rammstein gig, so let's hopefully there's some fireworks here tonight. I think it might be a little bit cagey early on potentially, and an out I think for the Argentinians with the Dutch playing this 2-1-2 scenario through the centre of the pitch. Might be their left and right side central defenders who might just get out either side of the press from the strikers.
Otamendi playing as the central of those three centre-backs. Messi's come deep to receive the ball. He was immediately surrounded by three orange shirts, but wriggled away from trouble, and the ball makes its way to Alexis McAllister, who can charge into the Dutch half. Inside left, goes out to the left wing for Acuna, getting towards the byline, tried to pull it back to the edge of the area for his captain Messi, but it was cleared away with a minimum of fuss by Timber, and he's back with Otamendi inside his own half. 0-0 with a couple of minutes gone.
Yeah, I think the Dutch back five, it can switch to a sort of almost a four with Blind pushed on. We sort of describe it as the fullback jumping up every now and then, and Blind is probably more adept at jumping than certainly Dumfries is on this side.
Also with Christian Romero of Tottenham playing it out to the right-hand side for Nahuel Molina, but he's lost possession and conceded a throw to the Dutch. Daley Blind, who scored against the USA, assisted by Denzel Dumfries. He returned the compliment later on as well, so both wing-backs scored against the USA. Van Dijk, midway point of his own half, not really being pressed, can roll it up to halfway where it's controlled by Bergwijn, sends it out to Dumfries, and then back it goes to Timber. Frenkie de Jong takes over, just protects it from the oncoming challenge of Rodrigo de Paul. Ake plays the ball through the halfway line, looking for Depay, and then it goes back to Van Dijk. It does seem like Gakpo is arguably dropping the deeper of those three, Stuart, of Depay, Gakpo and Bergwijn. Gakpo's just gone down holding his head.
Yeah, I think it was a clash of heads, actually. They've just inadvertently, I think, just bumped into each other.
Yeah, it was Enzo Fernandez who was the other one who accidentally came into contact with Gakpo.
Yeah, and as you rightly say, I think it is Gakpo just dropping in behind Depay and Bergwijn. You know, either way, the pace of those front two that he's playing behind, I think if they can get the Argentinian back three turned around in the channels, certainly be very helpful to the Dutch this evening. 4 minutes gone on TalkSport at the Lusail Stadium, where the final is going to be held a week on Sunday. Will either of these two nations be participating in it? Brazil have gone out. You heard that live on TalkSport earlier. Dramatic defeat on penalties to Croatia, showing their dogged determination once again. And here's Messi for Argentina, driving through the centre of the pitch. On his right-hand side, he's got an option. He's pulled back to the edge of the area. A drive from De Paul into a forest of orange legs, and then it's cleared away quite neatly in the end by Gakpo, just volleyed it up to halfway. There's good danger down the right-hand side from Molina for Argentina, but it was cleared away by the Dutch, 0-0. Back with Otamendi, strokes it out to Romero, just over the halfway line, faced up by Daley Blind, plays it infield to McAllister, but he was beaten to it by Daron, and then De Jong looks on halfway for Gakpo, was barged into by Otamendi as he released the ball, and our Spanish referee is going to want a word with Otamendi for that challenge. It is a Dutch free kick, 0-0. I think the Dutch, when I watched the game against the USA, looked very dangerous on the counter-attack, leaving the two players up on the halfway line. In this game as well, they've got Gakpo just floating in and around behind them, and I think Argentina have got to be careful for the counter-attack. When they're building up, they lose possession. The Dutch will look to get forward very quickly.
Dumfries hugging this near touchline on the Dutch right, down beneath our commentary position. It goes back to Virgil van Dijk for the Netherlands. He tried to play a ball inside to out, looking for Bergwijn, but the whistles from the partisan Argentine crowd will tell you that was misplaced. And Argentina have a throw that Marcus Acuna is going to take pretty much level with the edge of his own penalty area. Looking for an option, everyone's running away from him. He throws it up to the halfway line. It's very easy for Van Dijk to get the first touch onto. Quickly onto the seam was Alvarez, hooked down the right-hand side by the Dutch, but picked up by Lisandro Martinez, who came on against the Aussies and made a couple of very important challenges at important moments. Would it be spotted, Stuart Pearce?
Just looking at the space that Romero's got there on that side, you know, when Argentina are playing out, he's just pulled himself wide, just outside, I think it's Bergwijn, and that'll be important that he holds his width to receive the ball and then maybe advance with the ball.
Pinball round the edge of the Dutch box, but it will go through to Andries Noppert. Story for Noppert from Heerenveen. Made his debut for the Dutch against Senegal. Returned to his hometown club of Heerenveen in May. Now winning his 5th cap for the Dutch tonight. Sillissen, remember, was dramatically dropped by Van Gaal just before the tournament. Everyone expected him to be between the sticks once again, but it's Noppert. Now Van Dijk picks it up again, centre of his own half, again not really being pressed by either Alvarez or Messi. De Jong, who is being watched by Fernandez, gives it back to Van Dijk, and now Jurrien Timber gets up to halfway. Bergwijn comes short to receive it from him. Strokes into the centre circle of Daron. He's got two to his left. Ake is one, and he plays it back into square so that the Man City defender can pick it up. Van Dijk once again. Patient build-up from the Dutch inside their own half. 7.5 gone on TalkSport, 0-0.
Interesting to see. I talked about Blind being the one jumping up from a back four situation and leaving the back four with Dumfries being the right back. It's interesting to see when they get slow progressive build-up, just...
Noppert just passed through the legs of Alvarez, who was closing him down inside the area. The ball was rolled back to Noppert by Timber at the right-hand corner of the box, and literally the pass back to Timber went through Alvarez's legs.
That was very, very tight. I was just saying there that Dumfries is the one on a slow build-up that gets as high as he possibly can, with Blind being the deeper one, almost a natural left-back as such.
Well, Dumfries has just won a throw deep in Argentine territory for the Netherlands, only about 4 or 5 yards from the corner flag on this near side to us, the Dutch right. And Dumfries is going to take the throw. Depay, lovely little drop of the shoulder to buy some space, tried to flick it into the path of Gakpo, but he got his wires crossed and it just went straight behind for an Argentine goal kick that Aston Villa's Emi Martinez will take. He's got the Argentine flag spray painted into the side of his hair once again as Emi Martinez. Now Messi looks out to the right-hand side, and a chance for Argentina to break. The ball's rolled back towards the halfway line, and Argentina have Enzo Fernandez in possession just ahead of the centre circle.
Yeah, it's these wide areas Argentina can flourish in when they're building up. As I say, the front three are pretty tight for the Dutch, and you've got to go outside like they're doing now with Romero, but he's got to make use of the 10-15 yards in front of him to go and overload. Let one of the midfield players drop in and cover his position when he goes.
0-0 on TalkSport at the World Cup. Rodrigo de Paul picks it up deep on the halfway line for Argentina, flicks it infield to Enzo Fernandez, faced up by Gakpo just on the halfway line, so he plays it just to his left for Lisandro Martinez. Otamendi once more, 2 to his right. Romero again is hugging that right-hand touchline. De Paul starts to drive down the inside right position. He's got the right back Molina with a cross from that far side. It's deflected away by Ake. Messi on the scene, looks for Acuna, drives it fiercely across the area, but he was behind or in front of anybody in a blue and white shirt and hit too fiercely in the end, really. Argentina have a throw. 10 minutes gone in this World Cup quarter-final in Qatar, live on TalkSport. Netherlands 0, Argentina 0.
Yeah, just that overload on that right-hand side looks as though it could be it could bear fruit for Argentina. If Romero keeps getting it and keeps driving, all of a sudden he's got Molina in front of him, Alvarez into that channel, which is a 3v2 overload.
Don't forget England tomorrow against the French. Build up all day on TalkSport, including the weekend sports breakfast starting at 6 a.m. with Natalie Sawyer and Tony Cascarino. And the whole game is live from Albight with Adrian, Stuart and Jim Proudfoot, your commentary team. Can England do it against Les Bleus? You'll find out. And of course before that at 3 o'clock, the little matter of Morocco against Portugal, the other World Cup quarter-final to take place tomorrow. So TalkSport will bring you all the build-up and the 2 live games from when you wake up in the morning. It's 0-0 here. We've played 11 minutes. Yet to see a goalkeeper tested in this quarter-final. Argentina have a throw. It's going to be taken by Nahuel Molina, the right back. Messi came deep, hit the ball against De Jong, and wins another throw for Argentina. It's going to be Molina once again as the Argentina supporters start to bounce up and down all around this stadium. It's reminiscent of the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, although it's almost like turned through 90 degrees. The giant south stand at Tottenham's ground is what the opposite stand to our commentary position looks like, that runs along the touchline. Free kick to Argentina, taken quickly, and Fernandez has it on halfway, rolls his foot on the ball a couple of times, and then gives it out to the right-hand side. Away goes Molina, plays the ball infield, just misses out Messi. Gakpo rolls his foot on the ball, rides a couple of challenges, toe pokes it up to the halfway line, and the ball is won back. Now out to the right-hand side from Otamendi to Romero. Now Now Molina plays it infield to Alexis McAllister of Brighton in the centre circle. He's got his first international goal for Argentina here at this World Cup. He's got to get into the area for a long raking pass downfield. The cross breaks at the right-hand corner of the box for Rodrigo de Paul. Plays the ball back into the far post. Actually, it's a very comfortable play for Nopper inside his 6-yard box, 0-0.
Yeah, that's become the outlet there. It's Romero's the one. He's the one who can free himself up. If he drives on, it becomes an overload and a chain of events then. They can either forage down the right or alternatively switch and go to the left.
Heavy challenge from Christian Romero on Steven Bergwijn. Former teammates there. And just a warning for the current Spurs man, Romero. This foul on his former Tottenham teammate. Holland will have a free kick just to the left of the centre circle, about 10 yards inside the Argentine half of the field. De Jong standing over it.
The Dutch, very unusual. I've never seen this before when a team play a 5. When they're defending, Blind bumps up and he presses the highest. When they're attacking, he drops back and almost becomes a left back, and Dumfries goes up, which is quite unusual. Normally you do one or the other. If you're the furthest up, you're the furthest up attacking or defending, which is quite an unusual tactic, I think.
Stuart Pearce, former England international, World Cup semi-finalist, with us on TalkSport once again as part of our commentary team. We played 14 minutes in the Lusail. Netherlands 0, Argentina 0 for the right to face Croatia in the semi-final in midweek. Game which you can hear, of course, live on TalkSport. We brought you every game at this tournament. No other radio station has been able to provide that for you. Now, Messi's come deep once again to pass the ball back to Otamendi. Romero again, stationed out on the right-hand touchline, drives the ball out to win, looking for the run of Alvarez to the centre, but he's overhit it, and Nopper will just bowl it out to Duron of Atalanta. Short pass that Dumfries did well to get something on, but Argentina might win it back. No, a poor pass means Gakpo can retrieve it for the Dutch just inside his own half. They calm it down now, the Netherlands. Frenkie de Jong looks for Timber, strides purposefully over the halfway line, carries it forward, knocks it inside to Gakpo. Now Bergwijn looks for Depay, left-hand corner of the box. He's got Blind on the overlap. Depay instead crosses to the far post. Dumfries hooks it back across goal. Blind went out for a header, blocked out of it by Romero, and Argentina will clear their lines, and Fernandes will try and bring it clear. 0-0.
Really good play there by the Dutch. First time they've got numbers forward and in the box, and really good interaction play out on the left. Managed to keep it alive on the right-hand side of the box.
Ball's back with Virgil van Dijk. We played a quarter of an hour on TalkSport at the World Cup. It is 0-0 between these two heavyweights of international football. Got so many stories to share from World Cups past. The most recent meeting being that 0-0 scoreline in the semi-final that led to a penalty shootout. Tim Krul could not save the Netherlands like he'd done in a previous match that tournament against Costa Rica, when he was brought on by Louis van Gaal specifically for penalties. But Argentina won 4-2 on spot kicks that day to reach the final that they subsequently lost to the Germans. Here is Timber on halfway, looking for Bergwijn, who's tight to this near touchline. Nicks it in field for de Jong, trying to play a 1-2 with Gakpo. Gakpo went to ground, but he was still straight on his feet, and a crunching challenge between de Jong and Otamendi goes out of play on this near side for a Dutch throw. No quarter Astor given there at 0-0.
To be fair, I think Adrian's got a bit soft on us. There was a little bit of a ooh from him, you know.
I couldn't hear that.
I remember the days down London Road when he used to openly encourage a challenge like that.
Balls through Virgil van Dijk in the centre of his own half. Depay comes short to the halfway line and picks it up, rolls it out to the left-hand side, and Blind. De Jong again, who had that torrid time at Barcelona. Did he feel wanted? Did he not? Still there. The Camp Nou. is Jurrien Timber, again moving over halfway. Lovely ball down the right hand side of the box intended for Bergwijn, but Emi Martinez swiftly off his line to smother. Good idea from Jurrien Timber, and the run was good from Bergwijn, but excellent goalkeeping for Argentina, 0-0.
Yeah, excellent ball, but a feature of this World Cup, these pitches are lightning quick. When you think the players might get there, I'm afraid the ball just keeps travelling and travelling.
Alvarez picks the ball out of the sky after a poor defensive header from Timber, but he gets his foot in again. The Dutch number 2, De Jong, he knows that somebody was closing him down. It was Alvarez, and so De Jong gives it back to Timber. Ake just in front of his own penalty area plays it left to Nathan Ake. Ake will give it back to the Liverpool stopper. Always looks very casual in possession. Strokes it up very casually to Depay on halfway. Ake. Now a run from Gakpo down the left-hand side. Not seen by Ake. Instead he's gone out left to Blind. Now Depay has it. Out to the left-hand side where Ake is stationed helping out Blind. Now the ball goes in field to Frenkie de Jong, being hassled and harried by Messi. Ball over the halfway line, a little over from Depay, trying to let it roll through to Gakpo. Only half cleared by Argentina, and Timber once again is moving over the halfway line from the Dutch back line. Out to this near touchline of Denzel Dumfries. Little ball nicked in field for Bergwijn. Heavy touch, but in fact Dumfries was fouling Acuna in the eyes of the Spanish referee, and that gives Argentina a free kick, 0-0.
Just looking at the Argentinian manager there, he's shouting and hollering. The ball's gone dead, and he's shouting and hollering at Romero to get wide and get up the pitch. He's obviously identified, probably from one of his scouts up top like we have, that's the out. You know, if he gets on the ball and drives, all of a sudden it's Blind who's got to engage it, and there'll be a numbers overload on that side of the pitch.
Netherlands 0, Argentina 0 on TalkSport at the Lusail Stadium here in Doha. 19 minutes played. The right to face Croatia. Never mind that we might have seen the goal of the tournament from Neymar. Seleção going home. Never write Croatia off. It's a throw to the Netherlands in front of Lionel Scaloni's technical area. Never picked an unchanged side since he took over in 2019. Lionel Scaloni made one change tonight.
I think he's been quite brave. I think after the first game, I think he made 5 changes, then 5 again for the next, something of that nature, which is quite brave. You look for consistency.
Or desperate, depending on your point of view.
It's a fair point.
Yeah. But he was looking for that balance and blend, and he seemed to have found it. I think Enzo Fernandez is very important to that. Now Depay making strides down the left-hand side of the box from a long ball downfield, being held up by Romero, who's forced the corner. First corner of the match goes to the Netherlands as we tick round the 20-minute mark on TalkSport, 0-0.
The Dutch have turned the Argentinian backline down round about 2 or 3 occasions. One of those was when Timber overhit the ball. I think that's what they've got to keep doing. Don't turn the opportunity down of sliding that ball down the channel.
Centre halves up from the back as you might expect for this corner kick that's taken short to Depay. Gakpo clips it into the near post, headed out by Fernandez, defending well for Argentina. Gakpo's giving chase out to the near touchline, shows great strength, nicks it in field to Depay, plays a neat 1-2 with Ake, but then it's well won back by Molina on the right hand side for Argentina. Eventually Blind elects to put the ball out of play on the far side for an Argentina throw. 0-0.
I think in these early exchanges, Dance, there's not much to choose between these sides, is there? They're both comfortable in possession. They're both on the odd occasion are threatened to counter-attack and break into the last third.
Now Molina trying to set Alvarez away, but Van Dijk had read the run, got there first, and Ake slides in to keep it away from Fernandez and put it out of play for a throw once again to Argentina, but they've got themselves midway point of the Dutch half. On the Argentina right, Rodrigo de Paul, nobody in the box waiting for a cross. Messi's come deep, picks it up, wriggles his way to the edge of the area and gets his shot wildly wrong. It was way over the top. little message for the Netherlands there that they may not have men in the box, but when Messi picks it up 30 yards from goal, anything can happen. 0-0.
Yeah, I couldn't believe he got that so wrong. His movement to receive the ball and his acceleration from a literally standing start is incredible.
Timber spins away very neatly from McAllister, who is closing him down, moves up to the halfway line, plays into this near touch line, bang on halfway for Dumfries. Back it goes, 5 yards or so for De Roon and De Jong. Getaay, first time ball for Gakpo, trying to get the better of Otamendi. Half clears it, he's helped out by Fernandes, and the Dutch will win it back. Frenkie de Jong kicks the ball away from Messi and rolls it all the way back to his keeper Noppert. 0-0, and we're at the midway point of the first half on TalkSport.
I think if anything, probably the Dutch are growing into this game a little bit more than the Argentinians, I would say, at present.
Trying to find those channels, aren't they? Around the width of the 18-yard box to get players away.
Yeah, as I say, it's that little bit of pace, someone coming in, drawing a defender out, and then the next striker just working the channel in behind.
Getaay fires a ball out intended for Dumfries on this near side, but he's got too much on it, so it'll immediately be an Argentina throw on this near side. Argentina's last 9 eliminations in the World Cup have come against European sides, and that's a statistic that goes back almost 100 years to when they lost to Uruguay in the 1930 final of the World Cup, in the tournament's very first World Cup. And Germany have been tormentors in chief to Argentina, but the Netherlands have managed it too. Dennis Bergkamp in the Stade Velodrome in Marseille in '98, one particular highlight. Here is Memphis Depay for the Dutch, playing the ball a 1-2 with Bergwijn, drops for Bergwijn into the box, drags his shot wide, and it almost ran into the path of Cody Gakpo, who wasn't anticipating it and couldn't throw a foot at it, so it just goes behind for an Argentina goal kick. Stays 0-0 on TalkSport.
Really good play there, just straight through the centre of the Argentinian defence. Otamendi come out, give his wicket away, then after that it was a chain of events and they were a player down. He should have done a lot better with his effort.
Snatched at it, Steven Bergwijn. Martinez will clear the ball downfield from the goal kick. Timber goes up with McAllister and it comes off the Dutch player's head. Argentina have a throw which Marcos Acuna, the left wing back, has now in his grasp. McAllister's come short. Alvarez down the line. The ball showing for it. They look for Alvarez. Does really well to nod it back to Acuna, and Acuna just has his heels clipped on this near side by Dumfries. Easy decision for the Spanish referee to give the free kick for Argentina. And this partisan Albiceleste support raises its collective voice once again around this giant stadium to try and encourage their team forward. Balls with Rodrigo de Paul on the halfway line. Plays it backwards a square to Fernandes. Rolls his foot on the ball to keep it away from Gakpo. Christian Romero once again the outlet on the right hand side. Plays it back in field to de Paul, centre of the Dutch half. Up to the edge of the area, just wouldn't sit for Messi. And then two Argentina players getting a right old mess, Acuna and Alvarez, and it ends up being a Dutch throw.
Incredible. I love to every now and then have a little look down and see what the manager's interaction with, the instructions they give. Argentina manager up and down, working the whole width of his technical area. And I think the Dutch manager's gone for a sleep. I've not seen him out on the technical area. Maybe he knows something we don't, and it could be a bit of extra time, saving energy.
Louis van Gaal, so laid back, he's practically horizontal in his third spell as Dutch manager. Bit of defending for the Dutch to do here because McAllister's been brought down by Jurrien Timber, and the referee wants a word with Timber for that high boot. I think that's all it's going to be, and not a booking. Incidentally, he's not one of those on a yellow card tightrope. It's Ake and De Jong in the Dutch side and Acuna in the starting lineup for Argentina. 0-0. 26 minutes gone on TalkSport at the World Cup. With England playing tomorrow. Stay with us all day on the station. We'll also bring you Morocco against Portugal, and then England, France from Albion live, 7 o'clock kickoff on the build-up inside the stadium starts straight after Morocco against Portugal. Free kick from Argentina comes to nothing, and it's back with Nopper. Stuart Pearce.
Interesting to see on that build-up. I don't know whether someone's got information on to Danny Blind to get up and engage Romero much further up the pitch. He did exactly that on the build-up then. He went straight in the opposition's half.
One ball downfield for Gakpo, who clearly nudged Otamendi in the back as he was making his run through. That'll be a free kick to Argentina at the edge of their own penalty area.
Yeah, he's done exactly the same once again. They're not prepared to let Romero travel and make distance. He's pushed up and literally he's right on the back line of Argentina now, and Aki's got into a left back position.
So Romero couldn't get the ball forward. It's forced back to Martinez, and a poor clearance from Martinez presents the Dutch with a throw, right hand side, almost level with the area.
It's those little finite details that managers pick up really quickly, and that's the difference between top quality managers and probably, dare I say it, also-rans. There's no also-rans at this. It's the World Cup, obviously managerial, but they've solved a problem that could have been a big problem for them.
Stays 0-0 on TalkSport with 28 minutes gone at the Lusail. Ball's back with Andries Nopper, the giant keeper, all in fluorescent green this evening. Not being pressed, he's stood inside the D, just outside his area, rolls his foot on the ball. He was almost daring Alvarez or Messi to come short and try and pressurise him. Clips it out to Timber, and just flicks it in field for De Roon on halfway. He gives it back to Timber. Now De Jong, faced up by De Paul, gives it back to Van Dijk. Depay comes into the centre circle short, wrestles with Fernandes, gets the touch Gakpo with a neat pull up to Bergwijn. Bergwijn's got Dumfries on the overlap right hand side. He's used him, he's 10 yards from the corner flag. Now it's rolled back to Gakpo, feinted to cross, now does to the far post. Depay went up, well headed away by Romero. Drops for Frenkie de Jong. He elects to hook it back to Van Dijk on halfway. He's got everybody in front of him in either orange or blue and white. That's gone out to the Dutch right once again on this near side, and Timber. Great 50-50 challenge won by McAllister though for Argentina. Fernandes into Messi in the centre circle, just rides the challenge of De Jong, and the neatest of passes to set Romero away, who has got space to attack because Blind has got Molina to worry about on that far side. De Paul plays it across to McAllister. Just trickles under his boot, but he was in a good place in the centre of the Dutch half. Still kept possession though for the Albiceleste. Fernandes looks for De Paul with his back to play, knowing that De Jong was right behind him, and it goes back to Enzo Fernandez once again. Now Otamendi pushing through the centre circle, plays a 1-2 neatly with McAllister. Still going Otamendi. McAllister takes over once again. De Paul has two to his right. One of them is Christian Romero. Now he's being watched by Memphis Depay. Messi comes very deep to play a very short pass to...
I'm just looking at Aki. He's followed Messi all the way into midfield and beyond, and just left the back four in behind him, you know. Look, he's gone central now, and he's just got eyes for Messi, hasn't he? Not even involved in the rest of the game.
Back on halfway it goes to Nicolas Otamendi. Half an hour gone in the first half of this World Cup quarter-final. Live on TalkSport. Nip and tuck between the Netherlands and Argentina. Neither keeper's made a save worthy of the name yet, but an intriguing opening 30 minutes. And now the referee is having a quiet word, and a yellow card, I think, for Lionel Scaloni.
No, he's booked his assistant, I think, behind him, yeah.
A bit too much back chat. Of course, he's got players like Walter Samuel as part of his backroom staff. Proper Argentinian war horses from World Cups gone by. Not sure whether it was Samuel himself who got the yellow card. But on we go with the Dutch throw, right next to where Scaloni is still stood at the left-hand corner of his technical area, barking out the instructions. Still no sign of Van Gaal emerging from his dugout beneath us, and a throw from the Netherlands comes to nothing. Fernandes brings it away for Argentina. Romero making strides down the right-hand side. Molina, in actual fact it is, who gives it back to Fernandes, looking for the run of Alvarez, couldn't get it past Van Dijk, but Rodrigo de Paul on the scene to the right-hand corner of the box. Alvarez looked to flick it in field for McAllister, nearly came off, but a Dutch boot got it away. De Paul deflects away to Messi, midway point of the Dutch half of the field. McAllister now trying to roll Martin de Roon. Still going. Little toe in from Gakpo, but it still breaks for an Argentinian player, in this case De Paul. Now in field it goes to Enzo Fernandez, sitting at the base of that Argentinian midfield. Romero goes in field to De Paul. And Otamendi once again very patient from Argentina. 32 minutes gone, 0-0. Fernandez again looks to the right hand side. Justin Romero finds his captain Messi. Two Dutch shirts around him, managed to find a teammate. Poor heavy touch though allows Gakpo to win it back and stride with effortless grace up to the halfway line, but a poor ball from Gakpo intended for Dumfries, easily picked off by Lisandro Martinez. 0-0.
Yeah, I'm finding it really intriguing tactically.
As away down the right hand side goes Molina for Argentina, pulls it back to the edge of the area, teed up for Rodrigo de Paul, first shot on target, but it's a very comfortable save for Andries Noppert. Went straight at him and he gathered it neatly. 0-0.
Yeah, I'm just looking at both coaches really, and the Dutch have affected the game, certainly with Blind's position, squeezing him on for the early press. That's nullified a problem that could have been caused by Argentina. And also as well, Messi, when he's dropped deep on that occasion, Aki went all the way with him, beyond the midfield, all the way, almost man-marking him, and it's almost as though there's information that's been fed to the Argentinians. Wherever Messi goes, on your line, go with him and go all the way with him. We can't have him getting the ball to feet and running.
That's Stuart Pearce alongside me, Ian Danter Stewart, former Manchester City, Nottingham Forest manager, and of course England under-21 coach. It's 0-0 between the Netherlands and Argentina with less than 12 minutes to half-time. The ball's on the halfway line with Rodrigo de Paul. Well won back by Daley Blind. Depay still inside his own half, tries to play it down the centre of the pitch to get Bergwijn away, but Argentina cut out that threat pretty easily. And Molina leaves it for Messi. Messi, lovely turn to get away from Blind. He's got Ake backpedaling, gets the 30 yards out. What a ball into the area! Fantastic goal! And Molina puts Argentina ahead. The right wing back, fed by his captain, got there just ahead of Noppert and rolled the ball into the net for his first ever international goal. And what a time to score it in a World Cup quarter-final to give Argentina the lead against the Netherlands. It's the Netherlands 0, Argentina 1.
Well, it's that right-hand side of Argentina that they probably showed more threat, and what a reverse pass it was by Messi. Picked the ball up some 35 yards out, drove across the pitch, and without even lifting his head, he's seen the run. And a wonderful toe poke finished as he's got in, but everything was down to Messi. His movement, he pulled Aki around, stopped him, started him again, and a reverse pass, which was absolutely fantastic. And as Molina went in, he just toe poked it past the advancing goalkeeper. Brilliant finish.
Nahuel Molina of Atletico Madrid gets his first goal for his country, and he puts them 1-up, and that's the first we've really seen of Messi as a creative force in this game. He's had a go from distance, but a reverse pass giving Ake the eyes, and Molina pushing in from the right hand side, got there first. The Dutch find themselves behind with less than 10 minutes to half time on TalkSport. Poor pass from De Jong almost sold Virgil van Dijk short, but the Dutch managed to get it downfield, but hit it too firmly downfield, and it's a goal kick for Argentina.
There's not been too much between the sides, I've got to say, but a moment of brilliance once again. As I say, Messi picked it up, he drove across the pitch from right to left, and that reverse pass dance, fantastic. I didn't see it on, you know what I mean? There's probably one person in the stadium that saw it on, and that was the only one that counts.
Maybe two, because Molina spotted it as well, because he timed his run to perfection to stay on side, get it past Noppert, and the noise around this stadium is deafening. Belief searing through these Argentina fans all around us in the Lusail Stadium. What have the Dutch got in response before half-time? Because they've gone behind for the first time at this World Cup, the Netherlands, with that goal from Nahuel Molina, and Rodrigo de Paul is down holding his head, so the referee indicates there will be extra time to add on. I mentioned that England, France and Morocco, Portugal are on TalkSport tomorrow. We've also got lots of EFL action for you on TalkSport 2. A championship double bill starting at noon. A Northwest derby, Blackburn against Preston North End from Ewood Park, and then straight from that to Yorkshire derby, Sheffield United against Huddersfield, and that will include goals as they go in from other EFL matches. There are one or two games that have fallen victim to the weather, particularly in League 1 and League 2, but we'll have reports to all the key games around the grounds on TalkSport 2 on Saturday for that double bill of championship action. And then on Sunday, again on TalkSport 2, the Manchester derby in the WSL, followed by Watford against Hull City from the championship at 3 o'clock, and another championship game on Monday night, again TalkSport 2 after the EFL show at 6. We'll bring you Sunderland against West Brom at 8. Loads of EFL action on your home of the EFL, the TalkSport network. We're back underway here at Lusail. Rodrigo de Paul is okay. Back to 11 against 11, and Argentina lead by a goal to nil, and they look to release Acuna in behind Dumfries. Good run from Acuna, but again good defending by Dumfries. Managed to get in front of his man, and he sort of guided it back with his knee, picked up by Nopper. It was never going to be classed as a back pass by the Spanish referee. 1-0 Argentina.
Yeah, really good turn of pace there from Dumfries. Just got himself back goal side and towed it back into his goalkeeper. Holland have got to make sure that they don't panic now. You know, they just keep doing what they're doing, but make sure that this overload on the Netherlands left-hand side is shut up a little bit, because Messi sees that there's something for him over there and just gravitates into that area to get on the ball.
Virgil van Dijk for the Netherlands. Strokes it up to the halfway line, well intercepted down that left-hand side by Lisandro Martinez. Alvarez finds Messi back to goal at the edge of the area, twisting, turning, trying to get away from Ake, gets the shot away with his right foot. Straight to Andries Nopper. 1-0 it stays to Argentina.
He was twisting and turning that much, Dance, that Beck, our producer, went out for a cup of tea and a hot doggy.
I hope he paid. Goes up to halfway. Dutch trying to respond. They're a goal down here. Behind for the first time at this World Cup to Nahuel Molina, an unlikely goal source. But Argentina are ahead. Here's Jurrien Timber looking for Denzel Dumfries on this near touchline. Plays it built to Gakpo, who was just clipped by Enzo Fernandez. And the Dutch have an interesting free kick position here, almost at the right-hand corner of the Argentine penalty area, on this near side to us. 1-0 to Argentina.
They got a little bit overzealous there with their pressing Argentina on the ball, but I tell you what, a feature that I've noticed of their game, any straight balls into front men, the central defenders go really, really tight, make it very, very uncomfortable for you.
Argentina holding their line about 3 yards from the edge of their own penalty area. Van Dijk just temporarily standing offside. There's a two-man wall just inside the right-hand corner of the penalty area. Gakpo and Blind standing over this free kick. Will it be a right or left-footed delivery? Martinez just waiting in front of his goal line. Gakpo will leave it for Daley Blind, who dummies it. Gakpo sends in the kick. There's a mass of players who all went for the same ball, and there was a push by a Dutch player, and it'll be a free kick to Argentina. I think it was Van Dijk that pushed his man over, and a free kick goes away to the South Americans. 1-0 they lead.
Yeah, I think it was clever play by De Paul there. He's got himself right under Van Dijk and almost tempted Van Dijk. Van Dijk couldn't go anywhere, so I think when De Paul's gone to ground, the referee had no option.
4 minutes to half time on TalkSport at the World Cup. Netherlands 0, Argentina 1. Nahuel Molina with the all-important strike with a clinical Messi assist. Martinez's free kick, hit too firmly downfield, just bounces twice and through to Noppert. Netherlands into the quarterfinals for the 5th time in 6 World Cup appearances, because they didn't feature 4 years ago in Russia. Trying to get to their 3rd successive semi-final berth. They made it in 2010. Of course, they got to the final, lost to Spain, and 2014 when they lost to tonight's opponent Argentina. Molina just hooking the ball over his head on halfway. Alvarez couldn't chase after it. They were both offside, and the ball's with Yuri and Timber. Dumfries gives it back to Timber inside his own half. Van Dijk strides up towards the halfway line with the ball at his feet, checks as Alvarez comes to close him down, finds Timber once again. Timber infield to Depay, can turn and look for an option. Dumfries is available on the near side, the Dutch right. Fouled by Acuna. Another free kick to the Netherlands, not quite so close in as the last one was, and a yellow card is issued to Yuri and Timber, even though the free kick went the Dutch way. Dumfries is stumping the turf in agony, having been caught by Acuna, but Timber, getting a bit of an altercation with Acuna, picks up the yellow card.
Yeah, just looking at the replay of that again, Acuna ended up putting 6 of the best down the Achilles of Dumfries, and he's not too happy about it.
He's asked for the treatment to be administered, and the physio's come on, just writhing around, flat on his back, Denzel Dumfries, hands behind his head, really not happy at all. And it was right down the Achilles ankle area of his right boot. And then Timber just shoved Acuna to the ground. And that was what our Spanish referee spotted and issued the yellow card for.
I think Acuna, it's just clever play by him, really. He's made a challenge that's bookable, and he's ended up going to ground and forcing a booking out of a secondary player onto the scene. I was just wondering whether they'll make a change of formation or personnel at half-time, the Dutch. You know, I'm wondering whether they'll go to a 4 and dispense with Blin's position out there.
Acuna's been booked as well. He'll miss the semi-final if Argentina make it. That's been confirmed by the screen above us. Free kick to the Netherlands on this near side, the right. Gakpo sends it in, great run to the far post, almost made it to Van Dijk. Romero got there first. Not for all the world that Van Dijk was just going to stoop and head it goalwards, and somehow Christian Romero got something on it first.
Well, the amount of times we've seen him actually be first contact in a Liverpool shirt, and you're fully expecting that to be the case.
Yellow card for Christian Romero for clear handball to stop Depay and Ake combining down the left-hand side. So a quick second booking for an Argentine player, and it'll be a free kick on the left-hand side of the box now for the Netherlands. 1-0 to Argentina. And again, Gakpo and Blind are the 2 players standing over it. Argentina holding their line just inside the 18-yard box.
The Netherlands look as though they're just relying on Ake.
And it comes from Gakpo, well held by Martinez inside his 6-yard box. 2 players went to ground. Ake claiming he was pushed to the ground. A few Argentina players surround him. It's getting a bit unseemly out there. Ake walks away as we move into 5 minutes of additional time. It was him and Fernandes that collided there. 5 minutes of additional time. Was there anything in that collision between Fernandes and Ake?
I think there was initially. I think it was Acuna who was just pulling him back slightly, but let him go before he went down. So I don't know. I think the Dutch are relying very heavily on either Ake or Van Dijk getting on the end of things and not putting too many other numbers in to cause the line a problem.
So the 5 minutes of minimum stoppage time at the end of this first half are underway. Martinez clears from hands at the edge of his area. Once again, he's put too much on that. Bounces twice and through to Noppert, the Dutch keeper. That's not the first time Martinez's clearance have done that. Timber one of 3 players booked in the last 4 or 5 minutes in this World Cup quarter-final, live on Talk Sport, with Argentina getting their noses in front through Molina's first goal for his country. Timber finds Dumfries tied to this near touchline. Acuna sticking to him, won it back, and then Alvarez trying to power down the left-hand side. Him and Dumfries go to ground, and the referee said, Dumfries won the ball, play on please. And then De Jong is just clipped by Alvarez, and he might get a yellow card or just a warning. In fact, it's going to be a yellow card for one of the Dutch substitutes.
Weghorst, I think.
Wout Weghorst, once at Burnley, on loan in Turkey at the minute. He's had too much to say to the referee.
I didn't see his number, but you can certainly see him. His head's level with us.
Yeah. It's a tall man, Wout Weghorst. Smiling as he sits back down on the subs bench, but he's been booked by the Spanish referee. And the upshot of that is that the Dutch get a free kick inside their own half, squared by Timber to Frenkie de Jong, who trots up towards the halfway line, squares it there for Ake. Then Depay gives it back to De Jong just over the halfway line. Diagonal ball up to Gakpo, tries to flick it on, looking for Bergwijn, but he got too much on the header, really, and it just floated through to a grateful Emi Martinez. 1-0 Argentina.
Yeah, I mean, in his defence, it was probably just a little bit too high to get some sort of guidance where he wanted to head the ball.
Ake guides the ball back to Noppert. Left-footed clearance from the keeper looking for Depay. Headed down by Romero. Lovely skill from McAllister in the midfield, but then he's surrounded by 3 shots, but he was fouled by Gakpo. Free kick to Argentina, bang on halfway, as they look to close this half out with that 1 goal lead they possess. Messi will direct operations. Just tosses the ball forward a couple of yards further in the centre circle, and then Fernandes will take the free kick, placing back into his own half for Otamendi. Romero, so often in the first half out on the right-hand touchline, feeds it infield. Header up in the air by De Roon, and now Dumfries keeps the ball away from Acuna. And Bergwijn and Dumfries trying to combine on halfway. We played 3 minutes of the additional 5 that have been added on in terms of minimum stoppage time at the end of this first half. Led to believe that Tite, the Brazilian manager, is no longer in charge after their exit on penalties to Croatia earlier. You heard that game and the shootout live on Talk Sport, but Tite, longest serving Brazil coach, is no longer in charge of the Seleção.
I think we've probably had more managerial removals at this World Cup than any. I'm not sure of the stats, but it seems that way, doesn't it, Dan?
We've always had a few. It gets to the end of a phase for a national team, but Hansi Flick held on to his job as German manager, of course, despite going out of the group stage for a second World Cup in succession. Is De Jong for the Dutch. Bergwijn finds Depay, midway point of the half, out to the left-hand side, and Daley Blind. Immediately, he's closed down by Molina. And then Blind went down, and the ball's just gone behind for a goal kick. What have you spotted, Stuart?
This is where they run aground a little bit, the Netherlands. Blind is obviously out that side, he's left wing back, but his forte isn't running past people, you know, so every time they get the ball to him in advanced areas, he can't beat the wing back that he's opposing. And on the other foot, Argentina are foraging down that side of the pitch, and it's probably their most fruitful area of the pitch. That's why I wonder whether they'll make a change and flatten out to a 4 and put a more attack-minded player out there, a more natural winger, if you like.
1-0 Argentina. Again, not the best of clearances from Martinez. He went out of play on this near side for a Dutch throw. We played the minimum 5. It's up to Antonio Matteo how much more we play from this point on. Throwing for Denzel Dumfries, looks for some distance, flicked on by Depay, but Gakpo won't get there. Comfortably collected by Christian Romero. Back for his keeper Emi Martinez, and Lisandro Martinez now has it of Manchester United. Fires the ball up over halfway, asking Alvarez to give chase. Van Dijk tidies up, and the referee brings the first half to a close. Well, Brazil might be out, but we still look, as it stands, to be be having South American representation in the semi-finals of this World Cup, because the first international goal for right wing-back Nahuel Molina just before the 10 minutes to go in the first half, from a sublime Lionel Messi pass, toe poking it past Nopper, with one of the few efforts we've seen on target in this first half, have given the Albiceleste the advantage here at the Lusail. The Dutch have had some moments in and around the penalty box, but yet to force Emi Martinez into a save worthy of the name. But it's Messi with a gorgeous assist, and Molina with the goal of his life to give Argentina the advantage at the break. It is the Netherlands 0, Argentina 1. Thanks, Adrian. So it's a double change for the Dutch. I mentioned that Steven Bergwijn, we already knew from the look on his face as he was sitting on the subs bench that he wasn't coming back out. Also Martin de Roon, who had an equally quiet first half in central midfield, is off, and Teun Koopmeiners has come on to replace him, and it is Steven Berghuis who's come on to replace Steven Bergwijn. So we'll see how that leaves the Dutch to line up in terms of formation. Still looks like three at the back with two wing backs, with Timber, Van Dijk and Ake, the three in front of Andries Noppert. Dumfries, Koopmeiners, De Jong, Blind, Berghuis, Gakpo and Depay complete the Dutch lineup as it's revamped with those two changes at the turnaround. Argentina still the same as we get back underway on TalkSport. Martinez the keeper, Romero, Otamendi, Lisandro Martinez the back three, Molina the goal scorer and Acuna the wing backs, De Paul, Fernandes, McAllister in behind Messi and Alvarez up top. And it's Argentina in their blue and white striped shirts with the white shorts and socks, and are kicking towards the right hand end as we look from the second tier of this lofty Lusail Stadium stand that Stuart, Adrian, myself and our producer Deck are sat in on this Friday night, live on TalkSport at the World Cup. Can you see anything different in terms? It looks like Gakpo's playing up top with Depay now, Stuart, and Berghuis playing in behind.
Yeah, it's almost like for like shape-wise, which has surprised me a little bit. I think somewhere during the course of this half, I think they're going to have to go to a back four almost, you know.
See how quickly Louis van Gaal is tempted to change system as well as personnel. Argentina in possession with Christian Romero once again moving forward from tight to the right hand touchline. Molina gives the ball to Messi. Messi tight to this near touchline as well. There's three teammates around him. One of these, De Paul, finds Messi again, steps away from De Jong, getting towards the edge of the area. Alvarez with his back to goal, gives it back to Messi, clips it out neatly to the far side to Acuna, keeps it in play at the byline and wins a corner off Dumfries. Argentina's first corner of the game, and it's taken them till nearly 2 minutes gone of the second half to win it. They lead 1-0.
Yeah, they'll be quite happy with that, putting the Netherlands on the back foot, pinning them back.
Not that it necessarily means anything in the context of this World Cup, because it's completely different players, but the Netherlands have won 3 of their last 4 World Cup encounters in games in which they've gone behind. Can they produce that sort of mentality again in this quarter-final? Messi will have the corner on the far left-hand side of the field, a packed 6-yard box, even though it's an outswinger from Messi, drives it to the near post, flicked on by McAllister, nobody at the far post. De Paul is herring after it to this near touchline to keep it in play. Enzo Fernandez faced up by De Jong, down towards the byline in this near side, rolls his foot on the ball, wants some support. Oh, lovely turn from Enzo Fernandez, but he runs out of room in the end. He goes over the dead ball line for a Dutch goal kick. 1-0 Argentina.
Yeah, Fernandez just didn't show enough oomph to go past, and I don't think he had a picture in his mind what he wanted to do. Do I get a corner or do I try and cross it?
Just moved to Benfica, having been at River Plate, and I think Lionel Scaloni's been really impressed with the way he's adapted, not just to the Portuguese League but the Champions League as well. As I mentioned, he didn't feature at all in the qualifiers, Fernandez, but he seems to be a very important part of this Argentina midfield. Dutch get a free kick as Depay is just nudged over, taken quickly by Blind. Koopmeiners gives it back to Ake. He fires it across to Stephen Berghaus, who's in the inside right position. Gakpo now picks it up, having received it from Dumfries. Cleared away under a bit of pressure by Lisandro Martinez for a Dutch throw down by the corner flag right-hand side, taken quickly by Dumfries. He gets it back from Berghaus. Down the right-hand side of the box, Gakpo drives for the byline. Good ball in. It's collected by Emi Martinez under no real pressure. 1-0 Argentina.
No, really good play there by Gakpo, and he's just got to the byline and just stood a really good cross-up, but just couldn't get to enough wedge on it to get it beyond the goalkeeper.
Martinez clears from hands out to this near side. Van Dijk strongly wins the header away from Molina, and the Netherlands have it back with Teun Koopman is on this near side, the left. Just pirouettes away from Molina's challenge, gives it back into his own half. First for Van Dijk and then Ake. Berghaus comes deep to pick up possession, runs into the centre circle, floats a neat ball out to Dumfries, who controls it on the right-hand side, tries to get past Acuna. Great defending by the Argentine number 8. He's now wrestling with Dumfries for possession down the left-hand side. Eventually stopped running, looked to the referee for a free kick, and the referee said, I don't have a problem, play on.
To be fair, this referee's really good. I'd mentioned a few challenges in the first half, full-blooded, but other referees I think might have pulled him up, but he just let things go, and rightly so.
I mentioned he's vastly experienced, Antonio Mateo. You'll have seen and heard his officiating many times in our Champions League coverage on TalkSport and TalkSport 2. He's watching on as Nathan Ake keeps the ball away from Alexis McAllister as Manchester City takes on Brighton. And the throw has gone the Dutch way, right in front of where Scaloni stands, the Argentine coach, at the edge of his technical area. Ake looks for Van Dijk just ahead of the 18-yard line, holds his hands out to the side, so where's my option? Doesn't really have one other than De Jong, who hits a poor pass and it's one back, and Fernandes has played it through. Messi's inside the area, but out comes Noppert, the keeper, smothers it well, and De Jong will now bring it away as he's received an underarm pass from his keeper. Gakpo on halfway with his back to play, gives the ball back to Van Dijk. Now Berghaus looks for Depay, he gives it back to Berghaus, running back into his own half, being tracked all the way by Rodrigo de Paul. Now Frenkie de Jong has a bit of space in which to move into the Argentine half. Plenty to his right. Dumfries stationed in plenty of space on the right wing. He might get it from Gakpo. Indeed he does. Will he take on Acuna this time? No. He'll go backwards a square to Timber. De Jong again, just ahead of the centre circle. Finds Memphis Depay. Depay tries to wriggle away from Rodrigo de Paul. Got away from him. Then he got dispossessed by McAllister. Driving into the centre circle. Not much ahead of him. Alvarez was out to his left, but he just checked his run, kept possession well, and Argentina still have it. They lead by a goal to nil with 7 minutes gone in the second half on TalkSport.
Yeah, Argentina impressed me in games gone by. They know how to shut up shop a little bit, and game understanding is certainly high on their list of priorities.
Stroked out by Enzo Fernandez to Christian Romero, who's got Depay watching him, so he goes back to Otamendi. He too's being closed down by Berghaus, who's pushing furthest forward. Emi Martinez, the Villa keeper, will clear it up to halfway. Free header for Ake, but actually skimmed off the top of his head, but fortunately for him it went straight to his centre-half mate Virgil van Dijk. De Jong heads it in the air. Depay brings it out of the sky, but it's won back immediately by Enzo Fernandez for Argentina. Romero gives it back to Nicolas Otamendi. Again back to his keeper. No real aerial threat up front for Argentina, but Martinez elects this time just to give the ball back to Otamendi at the right-hand corner of the box. Romero, bit of a higher press from Holland this time, and they've won it back. Here's Berghaus finding Gakpo at the edge of the D, back to play, plays into De Jong, over by Depay. Clint tries to get a cross in, blocked away by Romero, but Molina couldn't carry it down this near touchline. Just remember that high press worked for the Netherlands, Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, it did. It was Blin there who got further up the pitch and managed to get a decent challenge in. I'm really a little bit flummoxed here why they don't put somebody on. They need some more press in the wing-back areas if you're going to stay with this wing-back system. Dumfries not bad on the right, but I think they need more of a winger type on the left-hand side instead of Blind. I really do, unless they change the formation to a back four.
They don't really have that on the left-hand side. They've got Tyrell Malacia of Manchester United, who could be a more forward-thinking left-back. Certainly would have a little bit more pace than Daley Blind. So they've already made 2 changes, the Dutch. Koopmeiners and Berghuis are on. Bergwijn and De Roon went off at half-time. It's 1-0 to Argentina. Live on TalkSport in this World Cup quarter-final. Croatia await the winners. Tuesday night. Again, live on TalkSport as we get to the last 4. Will England be in the last 4? Messi handball. Didn't get booked though for a deliberate handball on halfway. We saw a deliberate handball for Christian Romero that was punished with a yellow. Not so the captain.
No, ridiculous really by the referee. He's put one player for doing exactly the same as Messi's just done, and to be fair, you leave yourself open to criticism by the Netherlands players.
Van Dijk spots the ball down for the free kick, pretty much on the centre spot, plays it backwards to Koopmeiners. So England-France tomorrow night from 7. All the build-up starts from inside the Al Bayt Stadium with Adrian Stewart and Jim Proudfoot, straight after our live commentary of Morocco against Portugal. That's the 3 o'clock game tomorrow, live on TalkSport in the World Cup quarter-finals. Here's Jurrien Timber with 10 minutes gone to the second half here on TalkSport. 1-0 to Argentina through that goal. 10 minutes from the break. First international goal for Nahuel Molina. Now right hand side, Koopmeiners keeps the ball away from Alvarez. Timber looks to clip the ball down the centre of the field, looking for Depay, headed away by Otamendi, but it breaks on halfway for Van Dijk. Messi claimed he was being balked by Nathan Ake, but again the referee says play on. De Jong inside the centre circle, plays it to his immediate right, and Timber. He gives it back to the Barcelona man, who drifts into the Argentina half. Pass out to the left by Berghuis to Blind. Infield it goes to De Jong, trying to roll his opponent McAllister. Berghuis again, wearing boots to match his kit. It's the all-orange of Holland trying to switch play from left to right. Back into the centre of the field it goes from Berghuis. Into the feet of Depay. Poor touch from Gakpo. Allows De Paul to win it back for Argentina. Lisandro Martinez calmly strokes it out to the left wing back. Acuna rolls the challenge of Gakpo, but he's brought to halfway, put out of play for a throw by Jurrien Timber. Netherlands 0, Argentina 1 on TalkSport. Here's Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, at this moment in time, the Netherlands really struggling to break Argentina down, and when Argentina turn it over, very intelligent with their possession football and playing their way out of reasonably tight areas.
Argentina lost their first game to Saudi Arabia, won their group. The last team to do that, Spain, who won it in 2010 after losing to Switzerland in their opening game.
There's a little bit of me thinks with Argentina, the fact they've lost the first game and been playing knockout football since game 2 basically, you know, got in a swing of knockout football in the group stages.
Alvarez, left-hand side for Argentina, faced up by Timber, elects to go back to the halfway line where Lisandro Martinez finds Otamendi. Early ball from Otamendi to Romero, closed down by Depay, so he gives it back to Otamendi. Now Fernandes comes short. Deep ball around the corner for De Paul. Just decent 1 and 2 touch football from Argentina at the moment. Almost daring the Dutch to come onto them. Fernandes out to Romero. He's practically got chalk on his boots as a centre half. He's been stationed out on the right hand side so often in this game, spotted by Stuart Pearce very early on, and that tactic has not changed.
No, certainly it's the out ball for Argentina.
Here's Daley Blind giving it back to his captain Virgil van Dijk. Just hits a long ball downfield looking for Dumfries. Dumfries barges into his man Acuna, but he's won a throw for the Netherlands, level with the Argentina penalty area, takes it quickly. Berghuis tries to whip in a left-footed cross. It's well blocked, but they've won it back, the Dutch. Berghaus again, lovely ball in field to De Jong, but he was closed down so quickly by Fernandes. Ball lobbed forward, but it goes beyond Gakpo. And now Messi in his own half tries to turn away from Ake. What a ball to set Alexis McAllister away. He's got DePaul free through the middle. Oh, the ball just goes beyond DePaul. He still squares it back to the edge of the area. Ake tidies up via a ricochet. Alexis McAllister just overhit the pass for Rodrigo DePaul. Meantime, Molina, the goal scorer, the right wing back, trying to keep it in play on this near side. DePaul has it again. He tries to bring it in field, looks for Fernandes, being closed down by Berghaus, and Argentina go back to the halfway line. But that pass from McAllister just a shade too heavy, Stuart.
Well, we saw in the first half the pass from Messi, which had the perfect weight, the perfect angle and the perfect delivery. That was even an easier pass to make, and just over it, and once you overhit it, the chance is gone.
Netherlands 0, Argentina 1 on TalkSport at the World Cup as we approach the hour mark at the Lusail Stadium. Denzel Dumfries looks to win a header on the halfway line. It's won back temporarily by Argentina, but Koopmeiners teases it forward. Gakpo has got Dumfries making a run down the right side of the box, and that was overhit by quite some distance from Gakpo. A few jeers go up from the Argentine fans, almost making fun of that pass from Cody Gakpo as it goes out for an Argentina goal kick.
Yeah, it's almost the missing ingredient, you know, players either side of the pitch for the Dutch that can go past someone, and also as well that final pass which they haven't had.
Koopmeiners in the centre circle, plays it forward, goes beyond Depay. I think sensed he was in an offside position. Blint picks up the loose ball, middle of the Argentine half, but he's been dispossessed. Messi turns away quite superbly from Blint, then nicks it in field to Fernandes, and Fernandes will win a throw. Almost an olé as Messi got away from the Dutch veteran. Quickly taken throw, DePaul finds Messi again, gets away from Berghaus, up to the edge of the area, trying to make room for a shot. He's fouled by a combination of Van Dijk and Timber, and Argentina have a free kick just outside the area to the left of centre. Though it favours more right foot than left, Messi will fancy this.
Dance, I think he's got a contract with a glue company, because that ball is stuck to his feet. He just runs and it just seems to follow him. It's incredible, it really is. And once he sees a little opening, he darts into it, and you've got an incredible tough job to try and deal with him. And he's got a free kick here, which is in a brilliant area.
As I say, it's to the left of centre, probably about level with the very top of the D. The Torres has gone to retrieve the ball, which has gone out to the far side of the field. McAllister was there, placing or trying to pace out the distance between ball and wall. But Messi's going to strike this, there's no question, surely. Anybody else other than the captain's going to go for goal here. Meanwhile, there's a pretty hefty Dutch wall. Is there a draft excluder in there? I think there is.
There is, yeah.
Messi carefully spots the ball down. He's got Rodrigo DePaul there as well for a right-footed effort. Should that be what they go for in the end? Referee blows his whistle. Messi runs up to the ball, left-footed, round the wall and over the bar, skimmed the roof of the net. Noppert was at full stretch. A few supporters around the stadium thought it was in. It was mighty close. Stays Netherlands 0, Argentina 1.
A brilliant effort there. Noppert has decided to go to the up and over of the wall as he's moved to his right. Messi's whipped it. Goalkeeper's side, really unfortunate.
Ball hooked in the air, not the best by Otamendi. Where's this going to break? Breaks for Holland in the inside right position. Koopmeiners though loses possession to McAllister. And Fernandes on the scene once again, sitting at the base of that Argentina midfield, directing operations. Out to Acuna on the left-hand side. Neat ball in field for McAllister. Now on the halfway line, it's Rodrigo DePaul. He's captain Messi just to his right, and he passed beyond Messi and straight out of play, looking for the invisible man who stood next to Lionel Scaloni. 1-0 Argentina lead. And Danny Blind is out there directing the Dutch team. No sign of Louis van Gaal, but Daly's dad looks on as his son actually is sat on the turf. Does he need treatment? Asked the referee. No, so he's pulled to his feet. And here comes another change. And well, he got booked in the first half. Oh no, it's not Bart Weghorst, it's Luc de Jong who's coming on for the Dutch.
I think they're going to a 4 now. It's long overdue, I think. It's a make or break move for the Dutch, I think. Might make them a little bit more vulnerable at the back, but I think they have to do something of this nature.
Into his second spell at PSV Eindhoven, Luc de Jong. Scored 7 goals on loan at Barcelona last year. Scored 3 in the qualifiers. Obvious target man. So he's on in place of Daley Blind. He'll want to make his centenary of caps in the semi-final, should they make it, the Dutch. But Blind now has to watch on as the third change is made. And forward comes De Paul for Argentina down the left-hand side of the box. Looking for an option. Rolls it back to Enzo Fernandez. Now Acuna on the far side of the field for Argentina. Drives in field. 25 minutes to go on Talk Sport. Netherlands 0, Argentina 1. Still the score. Molina in possession. He's the man that scored the goal 10 minutes from half-time. And he's just want to throw off Nathan Ake. There is going to be a change for Argentina. And Leandro Paredes of Juve, defensive midfielder, is going to be on shortly. But before that, the Albi Celeste have a throw. Lovely ball turned round the corner by De Paul for Molina. Trying to fire it back to just outside the area for Messi. Ake won it. De Jong's first touch is to nod it down and find a teammate in Gakpo, who rides a couple of challenges and wins a throw for the Dutch. Here comes the change for Argentina, and it's one defensive midfielder for another. Rodrigo De Paul is coming off so that the number 5 Paredes can come on. Good round of applause from the partisan Argentine supporters for De Paul, who joined Atletico last year from Udinese. And it's the Juve man who was the team of the tournament when Argentina won the Copa America for the first time in eons last year, beating Brazil in the final. Leandro Paredes, who's on in his place. 1-0 to Argentina. Less than 25 minutes to go. De Jong extends it out to the right-hand side for Berghuis, but snapping into the challenge was Acuna. And now Timber forced to run back towards his own penalty area to retrieve the loose ball. Timber has it again, right-hand side of the 18-yard box. Good ball down the right for Koopmeiners, who can carry it into the Argentina half. Berghuis is out there with him. Switches play from right to left, picking out Gakpo. He guides it down for Ake, who's got to trot back into his own half to retrieve possession. Keeps it away from Messi and back to his goalkeeper. Stuart Pearce, Gakpo's man, playing as kind of a left-hand side player.
Well, I think that's what they need. I mean, in the old Dutch days, it was 4-3-3 with wide players, and I think they need that and need a little bit of punch out wide. Otherwise, you're not going to supply the central players.
Koopmeiners runs into Lisandro Martinez. No-nonsense clearance from the Manchester United man. Quarter of the game to go. You're listening to Talk Sport at the World Cup. Stuart Pearce and Ian Danter with you at the Lusail Stadium, where Argentina still holding on to this goal lead given to them by Molina 10 minutes from half-time.
I have the impression, Dance, that this team, this Argentinian team, enjoys situations like this. You know, hanging on and just looking to feed the magic man on the counter-attack. But they seem to quite relish their defensive work.
Great run by De Jong, trying to pass it back to the edge of the area for Depay. Hurry clearance from Argentina. Ake won the ball ahead of Messi. Timber, is he nudged in the back by Messi? In fact, the referee's going to bring it back for the earlier foul by Messi on Nathan Ake.
Messi should be booked for that. He should have been booked for the handball earlier, and he should have been booked for that as well, to be fair.
But he's not going to be. Play continues. De Jong dummies it. Ake almost caught out by that, but he retrieved it, kept it in play. Frenkie de Jong has it once more, just inside the Argentina half. Options left and right. Rolls his foot on the ball, just to get away for a moment from Paredes. He's closing him down well. Now he has it again, de Jong in the centre circle. This time Messi watching his every move. Koopmeiners strokes it out to the left-hand side and Ake. Gakpo showing further down the line. Tried to flick it with the outside of his boot to get Koopmeiners away. He has won a throw for the Dutch. Taken quickly by Ake back to halfway and Virgil van Dijk. So Luc de Jong now playing as a target man, a central striker. Can they find him with some aerial balls into the box? Berghuis looking for de Jong. Headed away by Romero. Headed further clear by Fernandes. And then Argentina player goes down. Writhing around in agony, Christian Romero, and he's won a free kick just ahead of his own penalty area. Netherlands 0, Argentina 1 on TalkSport. Just over 20 minutes of this quarter-final to play.
Yeah, gamesmanship and game understanding by the Argentinians. Just looked at a replay of it. He ran straight into the back of the Dutch player and then fell on the floor. Well, whether you call it intelligent play or cheating, make your own mind up.
Angel Di Maria is warming up for Argentina, trying to prove against his former coach, Van Gaal, who he described as the worst coach he's ever worked with.
He's never worked with me. I think I could change that opinion.
Glad you could say that. Me and Adrian said that. Crikey. You cut me in two. Anyway, throw in to the Dutch. Well, it's Argentina actually won the throw and they've taken it quickly. Fernandes on halfway, just down beneath us as Argentina are attacking from left to right in this second half. Trying to get Molina, or I think he would have been offside from that pass. The Dutch intercepted anyway, and it's out for a throw on this near side.
I just get the impression that the Dutch have run out of ideas and you know, any confidence that they might get back in this game. I really do. Something's got to fall for them, but they've got to make that happen, and I'm not seeing anyone on the pitch in an orange shirt.
Acuna gets to the edge of the area, goes down, and a penalty's been given. Denzel Dumfries throws his arms to the heavens in disbelief, but Acuna's won the penalty, turned inside the wing-back. Dumfries clipped his heels, and Argentina have a penalty here at the Lusail.
Well, that is really, really tight on the edge of the box. I think it's just in, but literally on the line. Clever play by Acuna. He's never ever going to stay on his feet in a situation like that. He's drawn the challenge. He's naive enough to take the bait. I don't think this will be overturned in any way, shape or form.
Well, VAR will be taking a look. Alejandro Hernandez, also of Spain, is chief VAR operator. And he's having a look. And Messi, the penalty taker for Argentina, already scored from the spot in this tournament.
I'm thinking a little deft chip down the middle here, you know.
Well, it's a big man to get past Andries Noppert. It is a penalty. VAR has, I think, confirmed that there's no problem with the award of that spot kick. And the referee just reminding Noppert about the rule about having at least 1 foot on the goal line when the ball is struck. Tall enough that he can comfortably thump the crossbar with his goalkeeping gloves as Messi waits for a chance to give Argentina a 2-0 lead with 18 minutes to go. Hands on hips, Messi waits for the whistle. Noppert pacing up and down on his goal line. Which way does Messi go? Bit of a hush around the Lusail. Martinez can't look. Up steps Messi, left-footed, and he sent it into the corner. Noppert did not move whilst the ball flew past him to his left, nestled in the top corner, and Messi looks to have sent Argentina through to another World Cup semi-final. Less than 20 minutes to go, and as cool a spot kick as you'll see from the captain makes it. Netherlands 0, Argentina 2.
Argentina are looking like a side now that are destined to go certainly all the way to the final, maybe even further than that. They're very difficult to score against, tactically very aware. The coach certainly sets them up to be tough to play against, and they've got cutting edge. And that is a recipe for a potential winner.
Failed to score against Poland, but he scored against everybody else so far in this World Cup. Lionel Messi with his 95th goal for his country in what is his 170th cap tonight. He's just taken the acclaim, cupping his hands behind his ears to take the acclaim of the supporters on this near touchline. And now the Netherlands are in a right old spot. 2-0 down with just over a quarter of an hour to go. Berghuis on the right-hand side, plays the ball into the box. De Jong goes up to the keeper. Good claim by Emi Martinez. Just has a bit of a look at Luke De Jong and goes face-to-face with him and nose-to-nose. Referee breaking it up. It's all a bit unnecessary.
There's a lot of... This is probably a side of the Argentinian team that I'm not a big fan of. You know, the goalkeeper's come and claimed it, made a fantastic claim about 14 yards out, and he's just fronted somebody up for no reason whatsoever.
Well, the referee, Mr. Baggio of Spain, is still trying to get certain players to come to him. Lisandro Martinez is having his finger, the referee's wagging his finger at him. He's not the only one he wants to speak to. He wants to speak to Memphis Depay as well for his part in all of that.
Yeah. There was literally nothing wrong with that challenge whatsoever on the goalkeeper.
Yellow card for Depay, by the way. Meantime, there's an idiot who has got onto the field of play and is being wrestled towards this near touchline. And play will soon restart with an uncontested drop ball inside the Argentina penalty area, and Emi Martinez will help it downfield. Going to clear from hands. So they're 2-0 up, and still we wait for the Netherlands to get a shot on target in this quarter-final. I think there's more substitutions coming from Louis van Gaal. He's going to throw caution to the wind. It's all or nothing now, because Argentina are firmly in control of this quarter-final and are set to face Croatia in midweek. But wait, here's Cody Gakpo going down inside the area. No penalty, says the referee. Gave that a long, hard look as Gakpo went down on the left-hand side of the area. Will be play on at 2-0 to Argentina. Ball's back with Timber in the centre circle. Berghuis calling for it on the far side of the field. 88,235 is the attendance given here with the Lusail tonight. And a good 80,000 of those are fans of the Albi Celeste. On halfway, there's bodies everywhere, and there's a foul on Messi. Van Dijk was the player that brought him down in the end. And it's going to be a double change. First of all, for Argentina, and Nicolas Tagliafico is going to come on for Marcus Acuna. Tagliafico will almost certainly play in the semi-final, with Acuna having been booked and therefore suspended. And he's going off on the far side of the field, Acuna, to allow Tagliafico to come on.
I think he's played well tonight, Acuna. I really do.
Also, German Pizzella of Real Betis is coming on for Christian Romero. So one of the centre-halves, again, player booked, has been withdrawn. He's wearing number 6, German Pizzella. And Wout Weghorst is coming on for Memphis Depay. Depay has just been booked. Weghorst, of course, now playing on loan from Burnley at Beşiktaş in the Turkish Super League. So they've got two big target men up front now, Stuart Pearce. It's fairly obvious what the Dutch are going to be doing for the rest of this game.
Well, not overly the Dutch way, is it, really? But certainly needs must at this moment in time.
10 goals, incidentally, for Lionel Messi. He's now level with the man they call Batigol. Gabriel Batistuta got double figures, 10 goals at the World Cup. So one more for Messi, and he's eclipsed the record of that great star striker for the Albi Celeste. We've got just over 11 minutes to go on Talk Sport at the Lusail Stadium. Netherlands 0, Argentina 2. Ball's out on the left-hand side with Cody Gakpo. Ake making a run beyond him. Clips into the area. Flicked on by Weghorst. Won't quite run for De Jong. Volley cleared by Messi, back helping out his defenders. Nobody in the blue and white shirt anywhere near halfway. Argentina, as Stuart Pearce has been saying, will make it as difficult as possible for the Dutch to play in and around them, or even over the top of them. Long ball downfield, looking for Weghorst, fighting for possession, drops in the box, almost worked for De Jong, and the referee spotted a foul and a free kick to Argentina, who will take their time to clear their lines. As Lisandro Martinez is also booked. A yellow card flying around, but no reds. I've seen many reds in this World Cup, have we, Stuart?
No, I think we've had two. One was obviously the Welsh keeper, and the other one was for taking the shirt off, I believe, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
Cameroon game.
Yeah. So they've been very short supply.
It's pretty refreshing, though, isn't it? You always worry that games are going to turn on a sending off, but I don't think any of the games actually have.
Martinez clears downfield for Argentina. Flicked on by Weghorst on halfway, but he can't find De Jong, his strike partner. Sent forward by Otamendi. Great skill from Messi again. Fernandes helps him out, and McAllister now driving forward to the edge of the area. He's got Tagliafico up there with him. Gets to the byline, pulls it across, and it deflects into the arms of Noppert. And the Dutch keeper gratefully received that.
Yeah, I think McAllister's pass, I think he's just overweighted it slightly, and on this pitch it just rolls away from you. Ake
for the Dutch, who have not got long to rectify this. The tempo's got to increase from the men in orange. Here's Gakpo, steps inside Molina, and then he's cleaned out by a challenge in midfield from Paredes, and a free kick will go the Dutch way. And another change coming up. Julian Alvarez is coming off, and Lautaro Martinez is coming on. So there's going to be three Martinez out there now for Argentina. Lovely. Just what you need. Martinez, of course, plays for Inter Milan. Scored 7 goals in the qualifiers, 3 in the win in the Copa America last year. And he's going to come on for Alvarez as a like-for-like switch with 10 minutes to go on Talk Sport. 2-0 to Argentina, but free kick for Holland. A couple of yards in from the left-hand touchline, down beneath us, midway point of the Argentina half. Messi being told to get back behind the line. Gakpo swings in the free kick, headed away by Paredes with no problem at all. Timber retrieves it, sends it out to the right-hand side for Berghaus. Diagonal ball into the edge of the area, headed out by Molina this time, but it's tidied up by Frenkie de Jong. Noppert's come pretty much to the edge of the centre circle to retrieve it, the Dutch keeper. Koopmeiners out to Berghaus again on the right-hand side, up against Tagliafico. Tries to go on the outside of him. The cross is deflected in the air, headed away strongly by Otamendi, but it breaks for Timber.
The Dutch front line now is consisting of the 2 centre-halves, 2 centre-forwards and a midfield player.
Weghorst! It's 2-1! Wout Weghorst gives the Netherlands hope. Lovely ball in from Berghaus, and Weghorst running across from left to right, just guided it with the head past Emi Martinez and into the bottom corner. And it's game on once again at the Lusail. Less than 10 to go. Weghorst with a header. It's the Netherlands 1, Argentina 2.
Well, to be fair, if they want a blueprint on how to get a goal, the Dutch, I'll tell you what, Weghorst has been booked already, hasn't he?
He has been booked, and he just clattered into Messi from the restart.
Tell you what, he is one fortunate boy if the referee leaves him on, and he's probably left on the virtue that he hasn't booked Messi for 2 decisions that he should have been booked for.
Yeah, Messi lying on his back. He will get to his feet in a minute. Meanwhile, the referee's making it quite plain that he's adding time on for these delays, whilst Messi takes a while to get to his feet. Now we'll see what the Dutch are made of, and indeed what Argentina are made of in terms of the gamesmanship that they might show to see this quarter-final out.
Well, you've just seen an indicator to that with Messi, you know what I mean? He just got a hand on his stomach and that was enough to floor him. They need to get possession of the ball, and they need to put diagonals into the box.
That was the Dutch's first attempt on target of the game, and it's brought them back within a goal of Argentina. You're listening to Talk Sport. We've got 6 minutes of normal time to go, plus whatever the Spanish referee wants to add on for additional time. Offside against Lautaro Martinez, so the Dutch have a free kick inside their own half. Now they're getting on with it. Now they've got a bit of self-belief. Van Dijk strokes it out to Dumfries. Infield for Jurrien Timber. Van Dijk again. Into the feet of Frenkie de Jong. Timber looks for Van Dijk again. The big men up front are calling for it. Weghorst and de Jong. Goes out to Gakpo on the left wing. The near side to us. Cuts in field. Plays a diagonal ball into the box. De Jong heads it down. It's Berghuis! Side netting. He struck that so sweetly on the half volley, and it crashed into the side netting via a deflection. Corner kick to the Dutch.
Well, I don't think there was a deflection looking at the Argentinian reaction to it, but my goodness, what a strike that was. I thought it was in. But they've got a brilliant opportunity now, a height advantage in the box, but the quality of the cross has got to be right.
2-1 Argentina, 5 to go. The Dutch have a corner, which Berghuis, who had that strike, will take. The heads go up, it's cleared away by Argentina. Koopmeiners keeps possession and sends it back to halfway, where Timber will send it back to Koopmeiners. Now Frenkie de Jong squares it back into the centre circle for Jurrien Timber. He's going to go back to his goalkeeper here. He's being pressurised by Lautaro Martinez. They're trying to force Argentina out, I think. Now De Jong has it, approaching the halfway line, keeps it away from Messi. Koopmeiners, he's being hassled by McAllister. Back it goes again to not hurt the keeper.
They've got to get width, get it out wide, and then put diagonal balls in. It's too straight at the moment what they're trying to achieve here.
Koopmeiners with a Hail Mary downfield for the Dutch. Up go the heads, it's flicked on by de Jong. Weghorst trying to get a piece of it. Tagliafico anywhere will do for Argentina. I think the pattern of the game for the rest of the game is pretty much what we see now. The Dutch trying to find that route through. What we have, we hold, say Argentina. Berghuis with a throw. Midway point of the Argentina half, goes back with a throw for Dumfries. De Jong with space in the centre circle. Koopmeiners now gives it back to Dumfries. Square to Timber. Now Virgil van Dijk. Early pass for Ake. On this near side, the left. Gakpo tries to play the ball through the legs of Molinu. Did well. Throw in to the Dutch.
I think the Dutch are trying to be too clever in working something. It's got to be just long balls up and surround the drop zone.
Well, the latest ball upfield from Van Dijk is repelled by Otamendi, but it's back with the Dutch once again. Oh, pull ball across from de Jong, straight to Lautaro Martinez, who's got over halfway, he's got support, lays it off to Messi. Messi, though, too heavy a touch. Oh, he's fouled by Berghuis, who gets a yellow card. Ake thought he was launching a counter-attack, but instead it's a yellow card for the Dutch number 11. And a free kick to Argentina just inside the Netherlands half. It is still 2-1 to Argentina, but time running out for the Dutch.
Yeah, it's tight now. Messi just lost the ball there. In all honesty, for me that's just a coming together. It's not a foul.
Not only was it a foul, it was a booking.
Well, I think that was for the reaction.
2.5 minutes of normal time to go. You're listening to Talk Sport, the World Cup quarter-final. Argentina 2-1 up. Strong header from Ake to get the ball away from Messi. Headed on by Gakpo. The Break now for Frenkie de Jong, quick feet from him, sliding challenge from Paredes, and then he cleans out Ake, and then boots the ball, Paredes, into the Dutch substitutes, and 5 or 6 of them race on to challenge Paredes, and it's all got really ugly here. Paredes cleaned out Nathan Ake first of all, and then whacked the ball into the Dutch substitutes, and he's going to get a yellow card for sure, and maybe other players too.
Well, sort this one out. The challenge was poor, and then smashed the ball, and then Van Dijk arrived, and his sheer size floored him.
That Weghorst telling his fellow players from the substitutes to get back to their position on the bench. Finally, Paredes is called over by the referee to get the inevitable yellow card for that challenge on Nathan Ake. And it will be a free kick to the Dutch as we go into the last minute of normal time. The free kick is round about the midway point of the Argentina half, but it's only a couple of yards in from the near touchline. Now the referee's having a quick word with Louis van Gaal, probably telling his substitutes not to get involved anymore on the field of play with shenanigans like we've just seen. And indeed Van Gaal just does the internationally recognised symbol for calm down to his players as he walks back to his technical area. Free kick then for Berghuis to take. Argentina holding a very high line, good 25 yards out, whipped in by Berghuis deep to the far post. Dumfries tried to keep it in play, but it goes off the edge of his boot and out of play for a goal kick to Argentina. As we tick round towards added time, we'll find out shortly just how much our Spanish officials have got in mind. Is that another yellow card there? Not sure who that was for. Bit of a confusion reigned as whoever it was issued to, it was issued from a distance.
Well, I'm just pleased we've got a decent referee out there trying to keep a lid on this one.
Might have been Ake that got booked there. Anyway, the 90 minutes are up. 10 minutes of added time. Listen to the whistles around the Lusail as that 10 minutes is confirmed by the fourth official. So we're into that now on TalkSport. Stand by your radios, anything could happen. As the Dutch come forward with Gakpo, lays it off to the edge of the area, and a foul right on the edge of the box. Gives the Dutch a free kick, 25 yards out, just to the left of centre for the foul on Gakpo.
Well, yeah, it was a wild boot by Otamendi and just caught the bottom of Gakpo's boots. And it is in a fantastic position here.
Yeah, if you could place the ball anywhere on the pitch for a right-footed free kick, this would be about position A, just outside the D, to the left of centre, and there's three men having a conversation about it. Berghuis, who is a left-footer, then there's Gakpo and Koopmeiners, and it's Van Dijk who was booked, not Ake in actual fact, for that earlier set too. And now for this free kick, Argentina are setting their wall. The vanishing spray's been put down by the referee. Martinez trying to further line up that wall as he stands on his near post. The Dutch players still haven't placed the ball down, they're just waiting for the right moment. There is a draft excluder. I think it's Lautaro Martinez who's been given that responsibility. And still Berghuis holds on to the ball. Only now does he place it on the turf very carefully, just next to the D. Crucial moment at the start of added time in this World Cup quarter-final. Gakpo and Berghuis standing over it. Berghuis left-footed straight into the wall, and it's cleared away and goes out for a throw on the far side, and Argentina keep their 2-1 lead.
That is never in a million years a left-footer's free kick there. It really isn't.
Long throw into the box. Two Argentina players go for the same ball in a clash of heads actually. And it was Otamendi who I think collided with, just trying to see who it was he collided with.
Martinez.
I think it was Martinez,
yeah.
Wasn't it?
Yeah.
So Martinez needs a bit of treatment, so it's going to be more than 10 minutes. this rate, Adrian can go home.
As Adrian pointed out to me, we shouted out it was Martinez he clashed with. As every percentage it was a Martinez.
Yeah, because there's three of them out there. You're dead right.
Not much gets past us, does it?
Not sure about that.
Well, I love it.
Now then, ball's just been bounced down for an uncontested drop ball for Martinez. That's Emi Martinez to get his hands on, just making that absolutely clear. And he will send it forward from hands for Argentina. So we played 3 minutes of the 10 that have been added on. Argentina lead by 2 goals to 1. And then it's a foul on De Jong in midfield by Enzo Fernandez. And the Dutch have got to get on with it. Time ticks away. Van Dijk squares it for De Jong, just shy of the halfway line, plays it back into square to Van Dijk. The big men up front are waiting for the long ball downfield. Might come from Andries Noppert, the goalkeeper, but no, he just strokes it out to the near side in Gakpo.
De Jong's the best Argentinian player at the moment. He just can't get the ball out of his feet. He can't play forward, the fella.
Noppert's long ball downfield, hooked on by De Jong. Good ball from Weghorst out to the left wing, where Gakpo will keep it in play. Wins the throw on this near side from Paredes, who thought it was his throw. Of course he thought it was his throw, and then keeps it away from Ake. 2-1 Argentina. You're listening to Talk Sport at the World Cup. The quarter-final is not decided yet. Weghorst collects the throw from Ake, keeps the ball away from Lautaro Martinez, goes back to halfway and Timber. The Dutch switch play from left to right. Koopmeiners and Berghuis combine, goes back to Timber again. They shall not pass, say Argentina. Here's Timber, diagonal ball up towards the edge of the D, flicked on by Van Dijk, misses out Ake. Gakpo takes over, right footy ball swinging to the box, good header away by Otamendi under real pressure, and there was a foul as well, and it will be a free kick for Argentina, and a few more seconds will tick away.
I've got to say that was a magnificent header by Otamendi there. Really was brilliant under big pressure from De Jong.
The noise goes up from the Albi Celeste all round this huge 80,000 plus stadium, roaring their team home. They're so close to another World Cup semi-final. Croatia await the winners. Brazil, they've gone home, they're on the next flight home, and their coach has gone. Tite dismissed after the defeat on penalties to Croatia earlier. Argentina 2-1 up. Martinez clears the ball long downfield, headed back towards halfway by Timber. Paredes heads it out of play, throw to the Dutch. All hands to the pump for Argentina at the back. Can they hold out? Dumfries launches it infield, bounces on halfway. Messi gets away from De Jong, who's again had another poor touch. As Stuart Pearce looks completely nonplussed to my immediate right at that touch from Frenkie De Jong. Now on halfway, Weghorst lays it off to Koopmeiners. Long ball downfield looking for Luke De Jong. Oh, it's a poor header. He was trying to nod it down to Van Dijk, but instead it's gone out of play for a goal kick, and Martinez is too busy trying to get the Argentina fans behind that goal to sing along rather than retrieve the ball. Spotted by the referee. He's got to get on with it, but Argentina still lead 2-1.
Yeah, they certainly do, and what they've done really well in this last 10-minute spell is they've stopped the Dutch getting wide and hitting diagonals into the box. They've pushed up, they've pressed that ball, and they've managed to filter it back into De Jong, who slowed the game right down for them.
6 minutes of added time have gone. Lautaro Martinez fighting for possession with Koopmeiners. Dumfries inside his own half, tries to gallop forward, now just hits a long ball downfield. Van Dijk's up there, tries to get the flick on, headed away by Lisandro Martinez. Now right hand side is Steven Berghuis, Tagliafico with him. Tries to play it infield to Dumfries, and it's just one back, and Argentina have something of a counter-attack on, but then Paredes is dispossessed, but he's fouled. And a free kick to Argentina. Berghuis can't believe that he was given as the offender, and And it's a free kick to Argentina just inside the Dutch half, 2-1.
I've got to say, that was a comical decision by the referee. You could tell that the Argentinian player was just going to drop to the floor, and he bought it hook, line and sinker.
Now they're taking their time over who's going to take it. Enzo Fernandez finally trots over to take the free kick. Tight to the far touchline, playing it down the left-hand side. It'll just drift out of play for a goal kick. Goalkeeper Nopper asks for a fresh ball from the multi-ball system. Gets it. 8 minutes of the minimum 10 have gone. They're almost there, Argentina. Ball fired up in the air by Berghuis, and then a foul on Ake gives Holland a free kick just shy of the halfway line. Koopmeiners is going to take it. Orange shirts forward for a diagonal ball sent up to the right hand corner of the box. Van Dijk heads it across the edge of the area. Ake tries to hook it over the top for Gakpo. Desperate clearance by Molina. Throw into the Dutch. Here's Frenkie de Jong, level with the edge of the area, left hand side. Chips the ball in, headed up in the air at the edge of the box. They go to ground, they win a free kick, Argentina. There will be a yellow card. In fact, is it a free kick to...
It's a free kick to Holland. Yeah, he's took him out, look. Really poor challenge.
Well, Paredes and then Pizzella got in the way, and another free kick, which surely a right-footed player will have a go at. It's almost in exactly the same position as the free kick that Berghuis blasted into the wall with his left leg earlier.
Make no mistake, it's Berghuis again on the ball. Or is it Koopmeiners?
Well, you've got Gakpo there. It is Koopmeiners. Berghuis is stood just outside the area on the right-hand side. 9 minutes have gone. We're dealing in seconds here at the Lusail Stadium. It's now or never for the Netherlands. Otherwise they're going home. Messi booked for a bit of back chat in the aftermath of that decision. So what of this free kick? Turn Koopmeiners or Cody Gakpo? One of them will strike this ball goalwards. There's another draft excluder for Argentina behind a 6-man wall.
They've got to go goalkeeper's side.
It's Koopmeiners, rolls into the area along the dead. It's in! It's in! It's brilliant by Val Weghorst. He's got a brace and he's saved the Dutch. Extra time beckons. They played it along the floor into the area. Weghorst collected it back to goal, swiveled, hit it low, and it trickled into the net. It's 2-2.
Well, I've got to say, I'm shouting, don't go blind side, go open side. They went open side, but they just rolled it to a teammate and toe-bunged it in the goal. It was an incredibly good move, a bold move at that stage of the game. And they need to keep pushing on, because at this moment in time, Argentina are rocked to the core.
Val Weghorst gets his second of the night. Just span at the edge of the area, picked it. The first touch was fantastic from Weghorst to collect it back to goal, and then a swivel and a hit with his left, and it just trickled past Emi Martinez. It's all square at the Lusail, and we are set for another 30 minutes at least of World Cup quarter-final football.
What a comeback. They were dead and buried. 2-0, it was finished. All of a sudden they found a different way of playing. They've ended up going from back to front, put big players up the pitch, and this is the Dutch. The technical Dutch team are going from back to front, and if they keep doing the same, they'll win the game.
Weghorst at the double. And we still haven't restarted yet. Only now do we get things back underway on TalkSport. 2 apiece. They've come from 2-0 down. Messi trying to get down this near side, the right. Here's Molina, who scored the first for Argentina. And there goes the full-time whistle. So with almost the last kick of the 90, Val Weghorst, from a brilliant free kick routine, brings the Dutch level. Messi and Van Dijk having words. And I think, is it Denzel Dumfries is having to be separated? There's a lot of pushing and shoving going on out there. Oh dear, oh dear. Dutch subs and Argentina subs all out there. Certainly Messi and Van Dijk were having words after the final whistle went. We are set for an extra half an hour in the Lusail Stadium, and there are tempers really coming to the fore. And Julian Timber is being led away, and finally the two squads separate and the managers can get together and sort out what on earth happens in the next 30 minutes, because at full time, unbelievably, the Netherlands bring it back. Netherlands 2, Argentina 2. Thanks, Adrian. Well, the referee just taking a drink of water on this near touchline as well. He might steady his nerves. I hope it is just water. I think he's going to have a lot to deal with in this next half hour, I fancy, Stuart.
There's a shot of adrenaline he's had there as well, to be fair. I mean, he's got the toughest task in the next half hour to keep these two lots of players apart and keep the game ticking along. He's got the toughest task, no doubt in my mind. But it's the Dutch going to a 4. It certainly helped them. I know when it went 2-0 down, they've had to go from back to front more readily. But the change of shape, I think, has helped them.
Well, just to give you some indication, the Netherlands have played 6 games with extra time at World Cups. They've never scored in an extra 30 minutes. They've had to take it to penalties to get through. And they've lost 2 out of 3 penalty shootouts, including against Argentina 8 years ago. The only time they won was against Costa Rica, when Louis van Gaal brought on Tim Krul, especially for the penalties for Sillerson. Krul made 2 saves. Argentina, meantime, they played 9 extra time games at the World Cup and they've won 7 of those. And they're pretty decent at penalty shootouts as well if it gets that far, having won 4 out of 5. The only exception being losing to the Germans in the 2006 quarter-finals. So Van Dijk and Lionel Messi are being spoken to by the referee. Another coin toss, I think, and the Dutch will get us back underway. So Nopper in goal for the Dutch. Timber, Van Dijk and Ake still the back 3. Dumfries, Koopmeiners, Frenkie de Jong, Gakpo in midfield, Berghuis, Weghorst and Luc de Jong up front. And for Argentina, Emi Martinez, Nahuel Molina, Germán Pezzella, Nicolas Otamendi, Lisandro Martinez, Nicolas Tagliafico at the back. Paredes, Enzo Fernandez and Alexis McAllister in midfield. Messi now partnered by Lautaro Martinez in attack.
What the Dutch can't do is all the things that have got them back in the game, they can't turn round and not do that now. They've got to keep going from back to front. They've got to try and play past De Jong in midfield, who's not worked out that that's their best strategy and decides to go backwards every time he gets there.
I mean, that 4 subs apiece so far for the 2 respective sides. The ball's down the right-hand side of the Dutch defence as Tagliafico tries to win the ball off Timber. He's got a throw down by the corner flag. He's taking it quickly and giving it to Alexis McAllister, who's being faced up by Teun Koopmeiners. Now Otamendi finds Pezzella just to his right. Messi, under a bit of pressure from De Jong, just flicked it back into his own half. Ball comes Lisandro Martinez. Lautaro Martinez looking at the edge of the D. Sent back to the left-hand side, and Argentina trying to keep possession in these early stages of extra time. Minute and a half gone in the first period of the additional 30 on TalkSport.
There's a lot of talk, Dance, from the pair of us about the Dutch and how the Dutch have done this and done that. If ever the Argentinians need Messi to find something special now is the time for him.
Ball's in possession on the halfway line for Argentina with Otamendi, who put in a brilliant headed clearance not long before that free kick that went the Dutch way. We thought that was Argentina pretty much home and hosed, but then a silly challenge at the edge of the area led to that brilliantly worked free kick. A I've seen some great free kicks at World Cup that no one expects. There was a one for Thomas Brolin for Sweden back in USA 94 when the ball was rolled beyond the wall and he lashed it into the net. That free kick to Weghorst and that finish, that's up there for inventing free kicks at that time as well, at that point in the game, Stuart.
And to that player, you would think if you're rolling something into feet, a more technical player will be the recipient. Oh no.
Weghorst becomes the third player, third substitute to score 2 goals in a knockout stage match in the World Cup after Roger Miller for Cameroon against Colombia in Italia 90 and André Schürrle for Germany against Brazil 8 years ago.
Well, we've spoke in depth about the importance of substitutes coming off the bench and having impact, and probably tonight has emphasised that point more than any evening that we've had or any day that we've had at this World Cup so far.
Talk sport of the World Cup. Argentina in possession. 2-2 the score. 3.5 minutes gone. Chance for Lautaro Martinez and indeed Fernandes to bring it forward. Messi now has it. Midway point of the Dutch half. Clips it into the area. Chest down by Tagliafico. Flicked on by Fernandes. And an attempted scissor kick by Messi, but he couldn't get off the ground. It was good pressure in the end, really, from Frenkie de Jong, and it just dribbled through to the goalkeeper Andries Nopper. 2-2.
The Dutch have settled into the game now and thinking to themselves their work's done. I think that's a dangerous tactic. I think they've got to keep doing what they've done before, getting it forward early, hitting diagonals, getting around, because that is the one thing the Argentinian defenders do not want. You've got to give them what they don't want.
As I said, the Netherlands have never scored an extra time goal at a World Cup. That Steven Bergwijn, who was off the field, was one of those substitutes getting involved, but it all got a bit leery, and he's been booked for his part in the unseemly invasion of the pitch by those Dutch substitutes when they were particularly angry with the challenge on Nathan Ake by Paredes. Here is Ake striding forward for Holland down the left hand side. He's got support from Gakpo. Gakpo just steps inside Molina, deep ball to the far post, and it lands on the roof of the net. Emi Martinez had it covered, just landed on the roof of his net, and he'll have a goal kick. Nearly 5 minutes gone in the first period of extra time. 2 apiece it stays. Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, it astounds me, Dance, at times. The thing that's got you back in the game and got you back to 2-2, you've stopped doing now you're at 2-2, which, well, listen, if you want to win the game and win it in normal time, it's the best way to do it. Just keep that ball going out wide and then diagonaled into the box.
Our producer Declan's just informed me that the yellow card that was issued to Virgil van Dijk in that melee has been taken off him, so he's back without a yellow card at this point. Confused? You can be at times in a World Cup, especially one like this. Crikey. 2-2. Timber just outside his own penalty area under pressure from Lautaro Martinez. Gives it back to his keeper. Dumfries scurries to the near touchline to keep the ball in play. Lofts it up to the halfway line. Goes beyond Weghorst, who's on a hat-trick, lest we forget at this point. Wout Weghorst, on loan from Burnley at Besiktas, is on a World Cup hat-trick in a quarter-final. And if he scores with his right, it's a perfect hat-trick.
I'll be interested to see if the Dutch get another free kick on the edge of the box, what they might come up with.
Well, they bamboozled us, didn't they?
Well, everyone's so used to this day and age, Dance, to defending the up and down free kick or someone shooting from the edge of the box.
Here is Otamendi inside the centre circle for Argentina. 2-2. If you're just tuning in to TalkSport at the World Cup. England tomorrow. Build up all day, starting at 6 a.m. with the Game Day Sports Breakfast with Natalie Sawyer and Tony Cascarino back in London. And as a nice little hors d'oeuvre for England-France at 7, do you like that hors d'oeuvre? We're bringing you Morocco against Portugal at 3. Sorry, Stuart Pearce has looked at me. I'm not allowed to use French phrases. It's against the law, right?
It is on this build-up until tomorrow night at about midnight.
I'll take it back. A good starter. Here's Argentina in possession with Fernandes. Brilliantly rolls the challenge of Timber and gets a free kick just shy of the halfway line. How much ambition do either of these squads show at this point? We're nearly half halfway through the first period of extra time. Here is Paredes. Finds Otamendi, closed down by Weghorst. Lisandro Martinez inside his own half in the left back position, turns neatly away from Berghaus, slides it into Lautaro Martinez. What a good put in from Timber, and it goes out of play for a throw on halfway, which Martinez will leave for Tagliafico. He throws it in, and Alexis McAllister very neatly lets the ball run across his body. Messi, just ahead of the centre circle, keeps it away from Weghorst. Fernandes strokes it out to the right-hand side of Molina. Seems like an age ago when he put Argentina in front. Messi again. Oh, great sliding challenge from Ake, just as Messi was looking to start scurrying towards the edge of the area. Now a counter-attack for the Netherlands. Out to this near side goes Luc de Jong, being held up by Otamendi. Infield by Berghaus to Frenkie de Jong. Looking for Luc de Jong. Neat turn, and he's fouled at the right-hand corner of the area. Bit of disbelief from Otamendi that that's the decision, but it's a free kick all the same to the Netherlands at 2-2 in extra time on TalkSport.
Yeah, rather rash challenge, to be honest with you. There wasn't much in it, but it was a rash challenge all the same. There was contact, and they've got a beautiful opportunity here to feed the ball into the box for that aerial advantage.
Once again, Gakpo and Berghaus are the two men standing over the free kick. There's only a one-man wall, which is Messi. It's not quite at the right-hand corner of the box. Gakpo runs over it. Berghaus clips it in, headed away by the first defender. Comes out to Frenkie de Jong, lobs it in the air, and then there's a whistle for a foul by Dumfries, I think, on Lautaro Martinez, and Argentina can clear their lines. You're with TalkSport at the World Cup. This quarter-final yet to be decided. We thought it was. Argentina were 2-0 up, but the Netherlands have come back. It's all square, and we've got about 6 minutes of the first period of extra time to play. Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, the free kick out wide there. For me, it was an outswinger more so. Just faded into the far part of the box. They've tried an in-swinger, and you've got to be right on the money. You're better off going, loft it up there, leave it up in the air, because you've got such a height advantage.
De Jong goes up for a header with Otamendi. That's Luc de Jong, because of course there's two De Jongs out there now. 3 Martinez's and 2 De Jongs. Okay, cheers. Argentina looking for Lautaro Martinez. Sends it out to the right-hand side. Oh, the referee's brought play back. What's he done that for? Argentina wanted to play on because Molina was making strides down the left-hand side, but Messi was fouled. And it'll be a free kick to Argentina. That'll frustrate the Albiceleste at 2-2.
Yeah. I don't know whether he's pulling someone back for a booking. It was a slight. Well, in fact, Messi's just turned and sprinted and run straight into Timber. And it was Timber from Messi.
Timber! But it wasn't the Dutchman that went down, it was Messi, and he's won the free kick. And Messi's standing over it. He snuck a few yards from where the vanishing spray's been put down, and the referee's too wise to that. Messi's trying to be a bit cute and steal 4 or 5 yards, and the referee's on him.
I'm sure this is not in shooting distance, but you never know with this fella.
No, it's about 60 yards out. It's closer to the halfway line than the edge of the penalty area. Just to the left of centre. Messi floats it up to the edge of the box, headed away by Timber. Nobody forward for Holland. Now Messi again to chip it back into the box. Goes beyond everybody in the blue and white shirt and trips out of play for a Dutch goal kick. It's only now you can actually hear that pocket of Dutch supporters that I can see, Stuart, down to our left-hand side at the very far end of the ground. They are severely outnumbered by the Argentina supporters, but they are making their voices heard a bit more now at 2-2.
Certainly are. They've made the journey out here to see this game, and they've not been disappointed. And if their team can turn this round for a victory, either in extra time or penalties, they'll be delighted.
Timber for the Netherlands. 3 minutes of this first period of extra time to go, plus whatever the Spanish referee wants to add on. The Dutch have given it back to their keeper, Noppert, who whacks it downfield left-footed. Flicked on by Weghorst on halfway. Luc de Jong was challenged quite superbly by Otamendi. What a sliding challenge that was.
Yeah, it was a great tackle.
Back it goes to Noppert, the keeper. First time ball downfield. Again, Weghorst tries to get the flick on. Gets away from him, but he's chasing after Tagliafico as he brings the ball down on the halfway line. Spins away neatly from Weghorst. And then Dumfries trying to pick the ball off McAllister. Free kick to get the niggly out there again. 2-2.
It is. Weghorst has got to be careful. He's got big levers, and all he needs to do is mistime a challenge and he'll be on his way.
Yeah, because he's not only has he got big levers, he's got a yellow card to his name, and that was when he was on the bench in the first half for a bit of naughtiness. Another free kick goes Argentina's way as Lautaro Martinez is brought down by Timber, who looks disbelievingly. Argentina wanted to take the free kick quickly, but again the referee's having none of that. Now let's see how close Messi puts the ball this time to the blob of vanishing spray that's been put down by the Spanish referee. Oh, he's right on it this time, in fairness. This is about 40 yards out, just to the right of centre. Again, the Dutch are holding their line at the edge of the penalty area. Which way does Messi go?
I think he's shooting.
Go for goal.
I think he's shooting, you know.
He's taking about 6 paces back from the ball. No. Messi clips it up to the far post. The heads go up and it almost broke down the left-hand side of the box. Was it Paredes who was up there? Was it Otamendi? There were 2 defenders who came forward. One stretched out a leg. So close from Nicolas Otamendi. Goal kick to the Dutch, 2-2 on TalkSport.
Well, they've got to be careful, the Dutch. They've got level peggings and literally stopped doing all the things that made them a real threat. They're looking to just tick over on this game.
Croatia await. The Netherlands hit a long goal kick downfield. We're into the last minute of normal time in the first period of extra time on TalkSport. 2-2. Argentina in possession as Paredes strides toward the halfway line. Neat layoff by Lautaro Martinez, and he gets it back from McAllister in the centre circle. Has a little nibble at him by Dumfries, but play continues. It goes out to the right-hand side rather, and Molina. Messi needs a throw off Dumfries, who's playing out on the, or Gakpo rather, is playing out on the left-hand side. Ball thrown in. Lautaro Martinez almost dispossessed by Gakpo, lost out in the end. Frenkie de Jong, neat turn away from Messi inside his own half. And the referee says no more added time at the end of this first period, so no further scoring from that dramatic conclusion at the end of the 90. It is still on TalkSport with 15 minutes of extra time and possible penalties to come. The Netherlands 2, Argentina 2. See, I'm nervous watching it. No, I've got a dog in the fight. If this is what it's like between England and France tomorrow when we go to extra time, we'll be all over the place. Argentina will get us restarted in their blue and white striped shirts, the white shorts and socks, the Dutch in all orange. Argentina kicking from left to right as we look in this second period. Can we get a winner in extra time? It would be the first ever extra time goal from the Dutch if they were to get it. And Argentina have possession with Enzo Fernandez. It's a lovely ball out to this right hand side. And a run down the right hand channel almost got him behind. And a free kick's going to be given. Gonzalo Montiel's come on incidentally for Molina at the start of the second half, so a right back for a right back. That's a fairly obvious like for like change. And Montiel's just won the free kick, which Messi now receives short. Looks for Montiel down the right hand side of the box, but he fell. But that meant Gakpo had to toe poke it behind for what is, I think, only Argentina's second corner of the entire match at 2-2.
Yeah, they're pushing here. Both teams, I think, will be more than happy just by their body language to end up going to penalties, but if anyone does get that goal, I'm not seeing a way back.
Messi's corner, out comes Noppert, claims it well actually, through a crowd of bodies inside his 6-yard box and falls to the floor. 2-2 on TalkSport. England tomorrow, 7 o'clock at Albion with Adrian. Stuart's going to be there as well. Jim Proudfoot, your match commentator. And I did hear today that Jude Bellingham's kid brother Joe is going to be playing for Birmingham at Blackpool tomorrow in the EFL, and Birmingham's coaches' TVs are rubbish and they don't work, as he's going to be heading back down the M6 hoping to hear how his brother's getting on. Job, if you're listening, get TalkSport on. Get it on the coach so all the lads can hear Jim and Stuart and Adrian bring you full commentary of England against the French. And of course Morocco against Portugal before that at 3. Free kick to Argentina, midway point on their own half. Argentina fans just raising their voices again, looking for one last effort, one last push perhaps from Scaloni's men.
I think they need the team need a lift now from the supporters. I think they really do. The supporters have been brilliant for Argentina at this World Cup so far. But I think there's been an element of nervousness.
Louis van Gaal was 7 minutes away from his first defeat in this spell as Dutch manager. 19 unbeaten. And they were staring down the barrel of a 2-0 defeat before a brace from Wout Weghorst on Burnley's books, but playing in Turkish football this season on loan. And that's the score we have now, 2-2, with 3 minutes having gone in this second half of extra time. Paredes for Argentina, clips the long ball downfield. Ake will let it run beyond him. Noppert has to put it out of play. Thought it was going into his penalty area, but he was forced to put it out of play by a good strong run down the right hand side by Molina.
They're a strange breed, these goalkeepers. I don't know what they see sometimes, you know.
He just skidded away from going inside his box. Montiel was rather than Molina. Now a free kick for Argentina as Messi just got clipped by Weghorst. There was Stuart Pearce mentioned earlier. He's walking that tightrope, having been booked while sitting on the bench in the first half. And now Montiel's been booked, even though he wasn't involved in the challenge, for a bit too much back chat to the referee. Yellow cards everywhere, but still no red. Messi standing over the free kick with Paredes, tight to this near touchline, almost level with the Dutch penalty area. Down the Argentina right, left-footed delivery coming in towards Noppert. In fact, it's just rolled short by Paredes to Messi. Gets up to the left-hand corner, trying to jockey his man, gets the shot away, but much like his attempt in the first half, he goes way over the top for a Holland goal kick. 2-2.
Body language is such a big thing. As soon as they played that short and it was Messi running at Dion, he was like a frightened rabbit in the headlights. He really was. And fortunately for him, Messi didn't have his shooting boots on this occasion.
Still got 14 in his last 9 games, Lionel Messi, in all competitions for club and country. Scored from the penalty spot tonight, and they thought that was that. 2-2. Holland trying to lob the ball forward over halfway. Nodded down into the left back position for Argentina. Laid off by Martinez. In steps Timber. Oh, he's trying to drive forward, but he ran into Paredes. Then he's surrounded and fouled. Free kick on halfway. More anger. Weghorst again, the man that committed the foul. And again, no further punishment than just the free kick. Well, and Stuart Pearce throws me a rueful grin.
Timber's just putting his boots back on. He's claiming he got caught, and the fact that his boots flown off is probably an indicator that he was.
Well, how about this for a subplot? Angel Di Maria is going to be on for the last, 10 minutes or so. For one last throw of the dice for Argentina. Here's McAllister trying to tee it up at the edge of the area for Tagliafico. Into the penalty spot it goes, cleared away by Van Dijk. Anywhere will do for the Dutch. And here comes the change for Argentina. And the man who said that Louis van Gaal was the worst coach he ever worked for is coming on. And the man coming off is Lisandro Martinez. So Di Maria wearing number 11 One last card from the deck of Lionel Scaloni. 2-2. Oh, poor throw from Argentina. Here comes Gakpo down the field for Argentina. What a challenge. Oh, it's a free kick and a yellow card for Pizzella. He got the man, not the ball, says the referee. And now Holland have a free kick about 35 yards out. But disbelief for Germain Pizzella that he's been cautioned for that, let alone the free kick given.
Well, I've no idea. It looked a clean tackle, but until we have a... No, he scissored him, I think. I think he's won the ball with his left leg and scissored him and made sure he didn't go past him with his right.
Sandro Martinez just walking behind the goal to our right-hand side. That's the applause you can hear as he takes the appreciation of those fans. Montiel, incidentally, he'll be suspended for that yellow card he got, having just come on as right wing-back. If Argentina get through, he'll be out. Free kick for the Dutch. Clip to the far post. Luke de Jong drives it goals. It's blocked on its way to goal by some desperate defending, and then a free kick for a bit too much urgency from Luke de Jong. Suddenly he was free, left-hand side of the box, nobody picking him up. He tried to drive it goalwards. I think it might have been Paredes who got the block in. In fact, it was Enzo Fernandez, forgive me, who got the block in, because nobody followed the run of Luke de Jong. 2-2.
Well, I think he probably got free because Aki had a little tug on the defender who was in that vicinity, and I think that's what the referees ended up pulling it back for.
Noah Lang of Club Brugge is on for Cody Gakpo, making just his 6th appearance for his country. So Lang is on, wearing number 12. And Argentina have possession midway point of their own half. Rolled up to Angel Di Maria. Looks for Messi. Will those two be able to dovetail and create something meaningful? Messi fouled again. De Jong getting involved, bit of a shoving match once again. Getting frustrating out there. Free kick taken short. Fernandez for Argentina. Slides it down the right-hand side of the box. Here's Lautaro Martinez looking to send it from Montiel, who'd come in field. It's only half cleared. Di Maria picks it at right wing to the right-hand corner of the box. Enzo Fernandez, lovely jinking run, pulls it back. It's fired wide by a deflection. Oh, goodness me. Lautaro Martinez saw his shot blocked wide by Van Dijk for a corner. 2-2.
I've just thrown my head backwards and just landed in the lap of another journalist, you know.
Di Maria with the corner. Left-footed in swinger. 6 minutes to go on TalkSport in extra time. Referee just keeping an eye on any pushing and shoving. Not much movement inside the box as Di Maria sends the corner into the near post. Desperate clearance at the near post and then volleyed away by Van Dijk. My producers just reminded me we've got 13 yellow cards in this game and no red. It's got to be a record. Di Maria down the right-hand side of the box for Montiel. Wins another corner for Argentina on this near side as the RB Celeste press for a late winner on TalkSport.
I think if the Dutch get turned over now, they've only got themselves to blame.
Messi,
changing tactics.
Right-hand corner of the box space for Enzo Fernandez. Deflection on the roof of the net and over for a corner. It was Weghorst who deflected it. Goalkeeper was stranded and it landed on the roof of the net. Suddenly Argentina have a 5th corner from nowhere.
I've got to say, Weghorst is everywhere. He's scoring goals at one end, he's in the middle of the pitch making challenges, trying to get himself sent off, and now he's blocking shots.
Another corner for Di Maria. This will be an outswinger with his left foot from the far side. The Argentina left, looking for the heads to go up, headed away by the Dutch. Comes out to Paredes, looks for Di Maria on the left wing. Cross is deflected out for another corner to Argentina. 4.5 minutes to go. Netherlands 2, Argentina 2.
The pressure's building up now. Another corner's going to be tossed in the box.
And it's Di Maria again on that far side. Raises both arms aloft, drives it into the near post, headed over the bar by Pizzella, who got there ahead of Ake, but couldn't direct his header downwards. Goal kick, 2-2.
Great movement and for all intents and purposes, he just got underneath it and put it over when he should have done a lot better.
Unbelievably, our statistician has just got back in touch with us. The record for yellow cards is 16. Cameroon against Germany in 2002, and also Portugal against the Dutch in Germany 2006. Might be another yellow card here for Frankie de Jong, but no, it's just a free kick for a foul on Paredes. We're down to the last 3.5 minutes of extra time. Penalties beckoning at the Lusail on TalkSport. Netherlands 2, Argentina 2. Whatever next. Ball fed up to Lautaro Martinez. Challenged though by a strong Jurrien Timber, trying to set Luke de Jong away. Down the left-hand side. Weak cross into the box. It's blocked out. Comes out to Noah Lang. Lang with a cross to the far post. Oh, claimed by Martinez. Goodness me, Berghuis was stealing in at the far post, and Martinez got something on it with both gloves. 2-2.
Well, the goalie's done well to cut that out, but when he did, all of a sudden he's fumbled it. He was fortunate there wasn't another Dutch striker in attendance.
Less than 3 to go. 2 apiece. We're heading for a 4-penalty shootout at this World Cup.
I'm not sure I'll go back to the hotel tonight or just go straight up to England's venue.
Might be an idea. Messi now driving forward for Argentina. Out to the left-hand side of the box. Tagliafico holding it up. Rolls it back. McAllister gives it back to Tagliafico. Everybody in Dutch orange behind the ball as it's back in the centre circle. Sent out to Montiel. Infield to Lautaro Martinez. Fernandes finds Messi with his back to goal. 30 yards out. McAllister runs into trouble, held out by Messi. Messi dispossessed. Challenge is going in thick and fast. Suddenly, there's 2 up for the Dutch against 2 Argentina defenders. Berghuis, right-hand side, skips past the defender, getting to the edge of the area, plays it to the far post, but it's a comfortable claim for Emi Martinez. 2-2. But the game's stretched. Can Argentina profit with a few Dutch players forward? Stroked out to Di Maria, just shy of the halfway line. Lovely ball down the right for Montiel, infield for Lautaro Martinez. Martinez beaten away by Noppert. Fierce try from 25 yards out, and the Dutch keeper puts it out for a throw on the far side. 2-2.
You can't get your breath here. They're sweeping from one end to the other, both teams knocking on the door, and it's almost as though they neither want penalties now. First off, everyone would seem to be playing for penalties. Now no one is.
Now, played back to the centre circle for Pezzella. Paredes takes over. Messi into the last minute of extra time on TalkSport. Di Maria plays a 1-2 at the edge of the area. Ake gets a desperate foot in to get it clear. Here's Di Maria again, centre of the Dutch half. Tries to roll it to the edge of the area. Vital interception by Dumfries. Kept it away from an Albi Celeste leg. Now Messi, edge of the D, goes for goal and drags it wide. Goal kick, in fact it's a corner. Came off a Dutch leg. One last chance then with a corner kick for Argentina, away to our right at 2-2.
Messi's had a few great opportunities shooting. He's just not managed to get it on target. I don't know how much that deflected. I think it wasn't going towards goal either way.
Di Maria's corner late in the game. Oh, and he almost snuck it in direct from the corner, and Noppert had to turn it over. 8th corner of the game for Argentina. And Di Maria has it again. The 120 minutes are up. Messi receives the short corner. Rolls it back to the edge of the area. Space for Fernandes. Off the post. And goes out for a goal kick. Enzo Fernandes let fly. And it hit the outside of the post with Noppert beaten. And it stays 2-2. Goodness me.
Incredible. He's rolled back to him. He's just unloaded a shot there. Aki's tried to get his head in the way of it. Couldn't. Missed it. And it's hit the post with the keeper beaten. Incredible.
So Noppert will have the goal kick. There is a minute that's been added on by Senor Matteo at the end of extra time. Noppert's goal kick. Flicked on by Noah Lang. Luke de Jong won't get there. Drops in the centre circle for Van Dijk. Onto the chest of de Jong. Almost made its way through to Weghorst. Down went de Jong, wanted a free kick, nothing doing. And there goes the full-time whistle in extra time, and a fourth penalty shootout is required in this World Cup to separate the Netherlands and Argentina. Just like 8 years ago in Brazil, it's going to take spot kicks for one of these two teams to advance, this time to a semi-final where Croatia, Molina on 35 and Messi with a penalty on 73, thought they'd seen Argentina through, but Weghorst on the 83rd minute with a header and a stoppage time strike from a free kick routine into the area, and it stayed like that through extra time. Netherlands 2, Argentina 2. Spot kicks on the way. So it is Van Dijk up first. He's only going to have a two-pace run, not quite Ivan Toney, but not far off, with Emi Martinez bouncing up and down on his goal line. All the action taking place away to our left-hand side. Van Dijk not looking at the goalkeeper, looking at the ball. First up for Holland. And he's saved by Martinez! Dreadful start for Virgil van Dijk. Liverpool versus Aston Villa, not just Argentina, Netherlands. And Emi Martinez comes out on top.
I've got to say that was a fantastic save there. Kept his left foot planted on the ground, but launched his body to the right hand side, got two good parries on it. And now it's the captain of Argentina walking up.
So both captains going first. Van Dijk has failed from the spot for the Netherlands. The last two sides going first in a World Cup penalty shootout of one, but the Dutch already find themselves behind. Messi is first up for Argentina. Noppert waits just behind the goal line. He was beaten by Messi with a penalty with 17 minutes to go. How about now in the shootout? Messi up to the ball and rolls it past the keeper. And Argentina lead after one penalty each.
Really calm penalty there. Just preceding that penalty, players once again clashed in the centre circle, not for the first time tonight. But Messi just walked up, waited for the goalie to move, then stroked it inside foot.
So 1-0. And Steven Berghuis, who came on as a substitute in the second half, is next up. Left final for Ajax last year. He's up next against Martinez for the Netherlands. And he's saved again! Really found his stop, but what a brilliant stop by Emi Martinez. Flung himself to the left. Two penalties from Holland. Two failures.
I've got to say, what he's done, Martinez, is not waiting. He's saying, I'm going to go a full dive whichever direction I think. And if you make a full dive, you've got every opportunity. I've got to say, I'll tell you where he's done brilliantly. He's kept his trailing foot planted on the line, so there can be no retake. Really good goalkeeping.
Leandro Paredes of Juventus, the defensive midfielder. He's second up for Argentina. With their second penalty, Messi scored the first. Paredes, slow run up, right-footed, great penalty. Great penalty, Noppert gets the right way, but Paredes smacked it past him. Two penalties gone, and Argentina in the box seat, 2-0 up. Mind you, they were 2-0 up in normal time.
Well, an incredible emotion running round this stadium now. Martinez stepping in, well, he's on the penalty spot, he's looking to do a bit of sledging, as he's done for the previous two. And what a great penalty, just looking at the replay of the last one, had enough height on it to beat the goalkeeper.
2-0 then, after two penalties apiece. Argentina firmly in control, and it's Tern Koopmeiners of Atalanta who is next up. Scored one against the Welsh in the Nations League in June. He's up next, and he sends the ball into the back of the net, and finally, with their third penalty, the Netherlands are on the board.
They needed that, they certainly did. Martinez on that occasion decided he was trying to second guess him, and that rueful smile on Martinez's face suggested I'll probably just guess wrong there.
Gonzalo Montiel one of many players booked in this game, never scored a goal for his country in 21 appearances. Moved to Sevilla last year, was a River Plate youth player. He is up next with Argentina's third penalty. Going to be a right-footed effort, stands at the edge of the box, runs up to the ball and puts it in the far corner, sending the keeper the wrong way. 3-1 to Argentina after 3 penalties apiece on TalkSport.
Yeah, top quality penalty that. Side-footed just inside the post. Goalkeeper gone the opposite way. Well, I'm not sure it was right in the corner, but if the goalie goes the wrong way, now it's the big fella.
Wout Weghorst. If he doesn't score this, Argentina are through to the semi-final of the World Cup. That Weghorst, who scored 2 in the last 7 or so minutes to give us extra time, and then this penalty shootout, steps up and sends Martinez the wrong way, and they're still in it. But if this next penalty goes in from Argentina, it's all over Red Rover. And what's Denzel Dumfries do? He's trying to get involved with Di Maria.
There's been skirmishes in the centre circle from the very first moment here, Dance. It really has. And when one team win this penalty shootout, it wouldn't surprise me whether it kicked off again.
Enzo Fernandez, who's come into this Argentina team during this World Cup, didn't play a minute in the qualifiers that got Argentina to this tournament. He is one kick away from sending Argentina through to the semi-finals. Very straight run up to come from Fernandez, up against Noppert. This for the win for Argentina and the last 4. Just runs around at the edge of the area. Right-footed effort, puts it wide! Misses the chance, and it's still there for the Dutch. But they have to score and hope that Argentina miss again. Luke de Jong up next.
This game has had absolutely everything. Now, can just hope that the Dutch score this one to heap the pressure on the Argentinians. My goodness me.
Luke de Jong places the ball carefully on the spot. Martinez has made 2 saves already in this shootout. De Jong to keep the Dutch in it, sends Martinez the wrong way, and it's down to the 5th penalty taker for Argentina, and it's Lautaro Martinez who has the responsibility, and he's been surrounded by Dutch players giving him a bit of the lip as he walks from the halfway line to go and get the ball.
Well, I've never seen that before. The referee's coming now to have a word with him. Dumfries has been booked for... He's basically followed the takers down, halfway down the pitch, sledging them.
And so, the decisive spot kick. Lautaro Martinez of Inter Milan scored 7 in the qualifiers, 25 goals for Inter Milan last season. He will never have had a more important kick of a football than this. This to send Argentina through to the semi-finals. Again, Emi Martinez on the far side of the field cannot look. It's Martinez against Noppert, right-footed, scores! Argentina are through to the semi-finals of the World Cup once again. They have defeated the Dutch on penalties, as they did in 2014. The Albi Celeste are through. There are still some angry Dutch players out there. Dumfries still wanting words with some of those players. It is looking rather unseemly out there. Dumfries is trying to go for one of the Argentinian coaching staff. What on earth is going on down there? In the midst of all this, Argentina players trying to celebrate, but Denzel Dumfries has lost his head down there. A few of the Dutch players were trying to get involved with Argentina players as they prepared to take penalties, but the cold hard facts are that Argentina are through to the World Cup semi-final to play Croatia on Tuesday and and the Dutch have fallen at the quarter-final stage. Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, well, listen, this game has had swings and roundabouts and God knows what else, skirmishes between the players, and really the Dutch have got themselves to blame. The things that they've done to get themselves back in the game, as soon as they went to 2-2, they did not put one long diagonal into the box, and that's cost them on penalties.
So, after a breathless end to the 90 minutes that saw Netherlands come back from a seemingly hopeless 2-0 down position to make it 2-2, we had no goals in extra time, but mistakes from the spot by Virgil van Dijk and Steven Berghuis put Argentina in the box seat. Enzo Fernandez put what could have been a decisive penalty wide, but finally, Lautaro Martinez of Inter Milan settled matters, and Messi and co are off to the semi-finals to face Croatia, who humbled Argentina 4 years ago in Nizhny in the group stage. Revenge may well be in the air for the Albi Celeste for that night, but for now it finished the Netherlands 2, Argentina 2. Argentina win 4-3 on penalty kicks.